Yo, what's up? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships Live Talk. This is your boy M3, and for this afternoon, I want to showcase a very special guest. She is a great artist, but I'll let her speak for herself on this one. But she does a lot of amazing things, and I want to introduce you guys to Miss Azul Bea. So let's go ahead and give her a round of applause, everyone. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how you doing?
So much for having me on.
Hey, no, it's all good. I appreciate you for being willing to allow us here in Knowledge Relationships just to have like a live talk with you. I know it's kind of like an interview, but honestly, I rather kind of treat it like a conversation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So today, we're gonna be having fun, and like I said, for the ones who are coming in, this is a live talk with Azul Bea, and we're gonna be diving into the things that she's doing. I know that she's she does IG, like Instagram. But like I said, I'll let her speak more for herself because we're gonna be talking about a lot of good stuff. Before we begin, let me go ahead and play some good music. Actually, hold on, which one is it? All right, we'll start with this one. Shout out to our music maker, DJ Eddie King. He always provides with the best beats. So, anyways, Azul Bea, like I said, thank you for coming in. Now, as always, right, when we have our live talks, I always got to ask the most important question. And the most important question is, if you don't mind, can you please tell us about yourself?
Okay, so I am a California native, raised there and in Florida, raised in South Florida. I currently live in Dallas, Texas. So I'm trying to grow my art name out here as well as California and in Florida. So if you haven't seen me out there, please reach out because I would love to come to your city. I do have a blog. We do partly on Instagram and then partly on Live in Dallas, and then we also we are in the studio, so we're doing the show live from Dallas, and we're featuring local artists that are in the Metroplex, and that they play music, they sing, they write, just like a variety of artistry, and overall I paint, draw, and all that stuff. So I'm just really into the art scene.
Okay, hey, well that's what's up. Well, then that leads me to this question, then, right? What got you into art? Like, what inspired you to become an artist?
Okay, so overall, I always just saw art as something that I liked, is kind of just more of a passion. I would say something that got me into it Really, it was just like years of me just doing it by myself and just like not showing it to nobody. And then in 2021, I wanted to just kind of bring people into my world of, what's in my head and what I put on a canvas or on paper. So I just kind of just let everybody see it and really kind of indulge in it, I guess. And they liked it. So I was accepted really gracefully, I guess, in the city.
Hmm.
But overall, it's just really just kind of a release, I guess, of my thoughts and my feelings. Mostly my thoughts, I think.
Okay, well, hey, well, that's what's up. Um, I mean, we start from somewhere, and
Yeah.
sometimes, like, we do things that we don't really uh consider it to, like, take us to, another level of things.
Mhm.
Um, I had like a little art type of background. I used to do like a little drawing, like cartoon stuff, and
Oh.
then I started like kind of like investing into like gaming, designing, but that was just simple stuff. Like it wasn't like I did anything professional in that type of field.
Mhm.
But because of my art background, it helps me to like learn how to create, like use this to create like thumbnails, things that can help me to contribute into like the live streams and like small little things,
Mhm.
nothing that I'm using art to make money off of, but just using whatever skills, I guess talents or skills that you develop into something that contributes to society.
Yes, yes. And I feel like artistry is really like what's in you, but if you happen to make money off of it, then that's cool. I
Hmm.
personally don't do it to like I don't I feel like if you want my art or you feel moved by it, you will want to purchase it. I'm not actively
Hmm.
trying to get somebody to buy it because I want it to move you, not just me sell you on it. I'm a salesperson. I would get you to buy it if I wanted to, but that's not the gist that I want. Like I want you to be
Hmm.
moved by my art.
I get you. Like you want it to be like where it has that organic type of feel. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, hey, organically, I want you to like me for me. I
Yeah.
don't want to. I don't want you to support me because you feel forced. That's
Hmm.
the same thing. Like, if and I'll get into like the social media parts, but like if you had like any type of, like business or social media platform, it feels weird when you're trying to force people to like subscribe or to follow. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is what I do. I'll just put myself out there. If you decide to follow me,
Yeah.
cool. If not, it's whatever.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So Azul Bayer, right?
Yeah.
Before I get to the next question, okay, I gotta bring up my network manager. You met him before, like in our private chat, but I want to probably introduce everyone to Mister Intellectual Soapbox.
Hey, what's going on, family? What's going on? What's going on?
Hello.
What's up, Mister Intellectual Soapbox? How you doing?
What's going down? What's going down? Doing well, doing well. Azul Bella, you know,
Hello.
good to you. Great to meet you.
Nice
Mm-hmm.
to meet
And
you.
three, what's going on?
And not too much, bro. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah, sweet. All right. So, Mr. Insular Soapbox, before I get to like number two, is there's like anything you want to like, ask to Azubeya or anything that you want to share?
Oh no, not at the moment. You know, I do see that that you're very active on Instagram. You know what I mean, and that you do a lot of things where you showcase a lot of different people. You showcase a lot of different talents.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's a great thing. You know what I mean, especially when you are already someone who has a talent of your own. You know, you make it also about other people as well. You know what I'm saying, and that's a big thing. You know what I
Thank
mean, because you don't have to do that. You know what I mean. A lot of times, people when they are on Instagram, they make it literally about what they're trying to bring. They don't even care about nothing else.
you.
But
Mhm.
for you to
Hmm.
also want to bring others aboard, that shows a great amount of just it shows that you really care about people within your area and you care about other artists as well, and that's great. So, I
Thank
mean, I definitely want to give you your give you kudos for that. So definitely,
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
you welcome.
Yeah. Speaking of that too, because one of my uh, one of my favorite moments, or at least one of the moments that I recall. So the last time you had like a live stream,
Hmm.
and I know that like you're more, like I said, you're more art focused, but you allow other people to showcase like their talents. Like you had a person that came up there and it was making spoken word, and while they was doing spoken word, one of the things I was seeing you doing, you was also looked like you was painting.
Hmm.
Either you was taking notes or painting, but I assume you was painting
I
with the
was
brush.
saying.
Right? Yeah.
So my show's called Colors and Covers, and
Mhm.
basically, I feel that there's so much color in artistry in so many levels. So like we kind of took that and mixed it in together. So basically, I color and they cover. So they don't
Mhm.
only cover like where whereas they only do covers, but they feature their own music. They talk about their artistry, and we interview them and stuff like that. I really enjoy it because honestly, they inspire me and I inspire other people. So I feel like the flow of artistry when we are doing that is so nice. Like the vibe is just amazing. We've always had a really good time. We're always just kind of chilling. We're giving you kind of the snippet. You know, when like a lot of artists get together, just like your friends, and you're just kicking it at someone's house, at the studio or whatever, and
Mhm.
you come up with some like real cool stuff. And so that's kind of like the vibe that I'm trying to organize with us within like the people that are networking here in Dallas. Also when we're like doing the lives, because on Instagram, we interview and we feature artists that are out of states, so and out of the country and stuff. So it's a really good way to also network with the other artists out there and just kind of get inspired by everyone around you doing the same thing that you are. So I enjoy it, and I think others will too. So I put it out there for people to, to see and enjoy and join us and stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
It- It's like you're building like that community of folks, like who has the talent, who has the skills, and you're building in that type of area.
Hmm.
And I think honestly, like I feel like that's what like society is like lacking. Is like the communal base, because like we all have something that we could kind of contribute, but
Yeah.
let's get together with other people to contribute, like
Hmm.
without no strings attached, just make
Yes.
it better wholesome.
Yes, and just have fun and put your stuff out there. I also like to just feature the artist because I always say that we don't always get to know the artist behind their artistry. We don't always get to like, really get to know them and who they are, how they are, what they think and stuff. They only just give us their music, and then that's kind of it. We're either vibing to it or we're not. And I just like to get to know the person a little bit more. There's more than just that song. There's more than just that
Hmm.
poem and stuff.
So it's like when you hear like a person's like music, right?
Hmm.
It's like you kind of go beyond like the lyrics. It's like you put your head in your space into a scenario like, man, I wonder what that person was going through
Hmm.
when he or she was writing that song.
Yeah.
And then when that particular lyric that popped in my mind, that caught my attention, it's like it makes you want to just dive in and immerse yourself into it.
Yes, yes, and we do that on the show. Hi, we do that for like many of the ones that they choose to bring us, because I honestly want their vibe. We want to feel
Mm-hmm.
what they want to show us first of all, but also just kind of what makes them feel comfortable. So then I ask questions on that, and we kind of just dive into that a little bit and dive into what made
Mm.
them be who they are right now and create the music that they're creating, or the artistry overall what they're creating.
I like that. Mm. Okay. Well, okay. Azul, right? Let me ask you in the next question, okay? Because I know like sometimes people could get things mixed up as far as like the hobby or the destination? Like I feel like your art was more than just what people look at. Oh, like a hobby. I think that was your destination. So that's why in the second question, like I said, that's my opinion. But in the second question, I want to ask, well, what are like your interests and hobbies besides?
Um, yeah, it is completely different. I think a lot of people kind of put that into a hobby with me sometimes, and I low key
Mhm.
get a little bit like, damn, you're trying my passion, you're trying my artistry. But
Exactly.
I feel like it's probably honestly when I have time to do things, because sometimes I just don't, with my career, my day stuff, and then transitioning into everything I do else with, like, with my business, with the artistry and everything. It's a
Mhm.
little bit different, but um I do things like I do nails. I used to do hair. Don't really do hair anymore because it's just a lot. I like to go out but not party like crazy because I'm older and I just can't hang like them no more. But overall I would say I love the summer, so I like to be like by the beach and stuff, like to travel. Those are kind of just the hobbies nowadays, and
Yeah.
just those things, buying nice things maybe. But traveling is probably overall the most. I like to travel a lot.
Okay. Okay. Well, nice. Well, if you decide to like travel to any place that you want, what would be the place that you would like to go?
Okay, so the place that I've always wanted to go, and I'm hoping that it happens soon, is Ireland. When I was little, yeah, I saw it. I just saw like a picture or something of it, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta go there." It's so pretty to me, and it's just like it looks like an adventure. So I want to go.
Okay, nice, nice. All right, I had to look that up because I haven't really well, Ireland would never been like a thought in my mind.
I know.
Um, but it's always been like in the Latin communities, right? Back then, one of the places that I wanted to go, which I went to now, last year and the year before that, it was one Cabo San Lucas.
Hmm.
Okay, a beautiful place. And then the other one was Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh yeah, I used to go there all the time when I was little.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like places where I mean half Mexican, but I feel like I've seen that already, so I just want to see other places. But I
Mhm.
enjoyed going there. We used to go there when I was little all the time. Like it was just, I was born in LA, so it was just like a couple hours away from us. So it
Oh
was
yeah.
nice. Why do you want to go there? I've never heard somebody say like that place out of everywhere else.
Well, okay. Well, one right at that time, I never went out to the country. Well, I went to Canada, but like like in a Latin country, I just never really went out there. And I always wanted to like at least like just check out what it feels like just to go to Mexico.
Hmm.
And Tijuana, Mexico was, even though to us it was like maybe like 7 hours away, but we was already going to a place that was already like an hour away near it. So I
Hmm.
wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. We
Hmm.
was we was going to San Diego to visit friends, and Tijuana, Mexico was just like a drive away, as long as you
Hmm.
have your passports and all. And yeah, we just drove our own car. We went out there, and it was cool. It was all right. A lot of traffic. And it's never fun like when you're driving versus just walking around to sightsee.
Hmm.
But it was just a cool first time experience. I just wanted to try out the food out there. Um, some people have their own like stereotypes or whatever. And me, I don't like to kind of listen to what other people say. I like to experience it for myself.
Hmm. Well,
And it
that's
was
good.
a good experience.
That's good. I'm glad you had a good experience there. I always liked it when I was younger.
Yeah. Now, I know earlier you said like you're half Mexican. Do you
Hmm.
mind if I ask what's your other half?
Honduran.
Honduran. Okay. All right. Is it more like a Middle East, close to Middle Eastern, or
No, it's Honduras. It's by Nicaragua and Guatemala, and
oh okay, okay.
yeah. You don't know Honduras?
I never heard of it, to be honest with
Honduras.
you.
Honduras.
Oh,
No.
Honduras. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, that part. But yeah,
It's from what I know, that's Central America, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I
Yeah.
always say I'm half Mexican and my dad's from Honduras
Mhm.
because people don't understand it sometimes when I say I'm
Yeah.
half Honduran. They be like, "Where? Where is that from?" I'm like, South America.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what's up. You know.
Thank
Um.
you. It's cool out there. It's really pretty too.
Okay. Nice little place. All right.
Yeah,
Well.
those areas are beautiful. I love Caribbean. I love
Mhm.
Central America. I love Latin America. I love South America. Those places are like that's like pristine for me. Like that's where I love to be. Like the beaches, the weather, the warm weather. You know what I mean?
The greenery
Um,
is so
yeah, the
pretty.
greenery.
So many
And
like woods and all that other stuff. But like they haven't
yeah,
cut anything down yet.
yeah, and also the food and the drinks there too is just like off the charts,
Yeah.
off the charts. You know what I mean?
Hmm. It's just a
So
different feel. It's like,
yeah.
when you're home, it kind of feels like a home. Like, you're going to be out there partying and everybody's going to try to feed you until you're like, about to blow up.
Hmm.
Everyone's going to give you drinks and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fun and partying, living life.
Yeah, and it's more true to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
what I mean? Especially, it's more true to like just ethnic people, just like where we come from in our culture, and it's embraced. It's
Mhm.
not where you go in America and it's kind of like
Mhm.
shunned or it's like, oh, well, what is that? Like, no, it's understood. Like, this is what we do. So out of all the places you travel, like, where have you actually traveled? Can you say you travel a lot? So where have you actually traveled?
So I really kind of try to stay in the States all these years because my son's he's 19 now, but like when he was younger, I just really try to be here. So in case I had to be
Mm.
back to him, it was always really quick. But I've been to Mexico, I've been to Honduras, I've been to Puerto Rico, and when I went to Honduras, we kind of traveled back up, so we traveled back to Cali. So I went all through there. Um, I really enjoyed that trip because we did mostly on a train. And
Mm.
it felt like those movies, you guys, when you're just like in the movie and
Mhm.
you're there forever. It felt like that in my mind. It probably wasn't because I was really little, but
Mhm.
but it did feel like, when you're just like in the movies and you're like traveling and you're just seeing all these cities and places and stuff, just go by and stuff. That's type work. I
Okay,
really,
okay, okay.
yeah.
That's what's
Uh,
up. And we do have a question from Carter Cloudy, but I just have one last question.
well,
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
What's up?
So, out of all the places you travel,
Mhm.
what place really
hmm.
impacted your life the most? You know.
I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I've had
Mm,
that place where, it's just like, wow, this is a life changing thing right here, or like view, or, smell, or like memory, or whatever. I don't think I've had that yet, to be honest with you. I work so much. So it's just like, I need to kind of, stop and kind of take that in sometimes, but I don't think I've had that.
mm.
But anything subject to change, though. I mean,
I
especially I know
know.
you
I
want to
mean,
get to Ireland.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I aspire for it to change because I do
uh,
want all of that to happen. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, Partly Cloudy has a question.
salute to
First
Park Cloud
question. Yeah, salute to Partly Cloudy, man.
and AR as
Thank you
well
for
too.
supporting us, bro. And AR as well. We see you, AR. What's up, man?
Hmm.
He says, how many languages do you speak, Azul?
Okay, so my first language is Spanish, and then I learned English right away. Being in America out here, so and then in school I took a little bit of Italian, but I think overall, growing in Miami, I understand a little bit of Portuguese and French because
Hmm.
Haitian people are there like a lot, and they speak Creole, and Creole is it's part French. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn that a little bit more, but fluently Spanish and English, and then the rest are just like dabble. But yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that's
cool, cool. Gotcha. I like your name, the Azul Bella,
Huh,
because Azul is one of my favorite songs by Bebel Gilberto. A song called Azul, bossa nova jazz. You
by
know what I mean?
who?
Bebel Gilberto, bossa nova. A song
she
called
looking
I'm
over
Azul.
looking. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, look it up. It's a great song. I love that song.
Okay. If I don't find it, I'm gonna need you to send it to me because now I want to listen to it. I want to hear.
Oh, definitely, definitely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to find it or no?
No.
Okay, I got you.
But if
Yeah.
you send it, I could definitely look it up right now. That's tight. I love, when I was younger, I used to always look because my middle name, which I'm not gonna say, but always used to look for songs of my middle name. And when I finally found one, I was like, I don't know if I want to tell people about this song. I'm gonna wait until I get older to see if other people make really cool songs about it because I didn't have that then. And I always kind of thought of like
Mm-hmm.
looking for songs that are of my name. I don't know why, but. I used to always think about that.
Nah, I know like back then, like we used to like look up like meanings, for our
Hmm.
name,
For
and
yes,
yeah, and my
it was.
wife she said that my name, well, my first name, not M3, but my government name. Well, she says like in a weird way in Spanish, right? It says like bitter waters. I don't know if it's really in Spanish or some other type of like meaning, but salutes to K Mary like in the chat. But yeah, I was like bitter
Yeah, Kid
waters.
Marion.
That's kind of weird. But hey,
Hmm.
luckily I'm
Hey,
not like
wait,
a bitter person. Hmm?
but did she look at it up? Did she look for the meaning in Spanish and then translated it to you, or did she look it up in English and just said what it was?
I
Because
think
it's
I
different.
I well I don't know. If she looked it up like on Google, right? So Google could tell you anything. So I'm for sure she looked at my name like like in English and then probably was translated that way. Because my wife, she kind of like understands like a bit of Spanish herself. So not me though. That is. I'm trying with Duolingo. So
So okay, so Google
mhm.
said that your name, your actual name, because I looked it up earlier,
Yeah. Okay.
means Roman god of war.
Warmer God of War. But
Roman
Mm.
okay.
god of war.
Mm, okay. And that's translated like what, like from like the Spanish like language, or that just
No, this is
translated?
English. So if I
Oh,
look at it in Spanish, it'll
hmm,
probably be different. But it says in a
yeah.
Latin baby name, the
Hmm.
meaning of the name is hammer and then Mars. And then in parentheses it says Roman god of war. And then also one of the numbers of the masculine variants of Mary that can be attributed to the Virgin Mary. So close to godly in some way.
Oh, all right. I guess that's good to know. It's better than bitter waters.
Yeah,
But Mary says I like the Roman translation. I
right.
think,
We too. We're gonna stick to that one.
yeah, Roman's a little bit more nicer.
And family, I sent you the song on IG.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I
And for the
don't think.
ones who's tuning in, please share this video. Um, if you're new, subscribe. We're trying to get to our, closest milestone of 900 subscribers. We're very close. I think we need four more, I believe. So, help spread the word out so people could subscribe and also tune in and also follow Azul Baya. Now, I am pronouncing your last name right, the Baya part, right? Because I
Yes,
know we all called you Bella like in the beginning until you
it's
corrected it.
okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. A lot of people call me Bella just because they're not Spanish, but it's Azul Bella. It's Bella means beautiful. Azul means blue, but
Okay.
just
So
your
is it beautiful blue or blue and beautiful?
no blue. Well, Azul is my first name, and then Bella is my last name.
No, no, I know that, but I mean, like, if someone was to kind of like translate it all together, right? If you put it
Translating
together,
it, it's beautiful blue.
beautiful blue.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, which is, Spanish is like that. It's always just kind of backwards or it can mean different words. So,
Yeah. Do you think? Okay, there's a little bit of controversy to it because there are some Spanish speakers that will say English is hard, but Spanish is easier, and then there'll be other people that will say, well, English is easier, but Spanish is a more harder one. What's
um,
your opinion to that?
okay, so What I feel is hard about English is that why y'all gotta have all these silent letters? Why? Why are you doing this like that?
Like Django.
Yeah, like okay, knife does not need that
Mhm,
K, for example. Like,
mhm,
it's hard for no reason. Spanish is just very intellectual. You have to know the sexes of the words for you to kind of be able to, just get it good and be going. Cause sometimes like an object, let's say like casa, the house, casa
mhm.
is feminine, not masculine.
Yeah.
So el carro, that's masculine. The car
Mhm,
is more
Mm.
masculine. So like you have to kind of understand
mhm,
that, and then you'll quickly just know Spanish. And then you'll also learn the kind of like the ebonics, just like the slang talk with between people. You just know how to talk to people if you know that. Also, the only other thing that's really hard that I would say to like people that don't know it is when you have to address people, because we're very respectful to our elders. So like
like Usted.
usted, yes. A
Mhm,
lot of people don't know that, and they just automatically it's you. So tú.
mhm,
So anyone that's older or you're just showing respect, let's say I don't know you, right? We're peers, but I don't know you.
mhm.
I would approach you as usted because I just don't know you. And then when
Mm.
I know you, whatever, maybe if we're comfortable and that's just the way that we talk, we could switch it to tú. Like, tú quieres ir para aquí, tú quieres, like, like that. I'm not gonna say
Mhm.
usted quiere ir, because that's just more of a respect towards someone, or it's kind of like yes ma'am, like yes sir kind of thing, where you're just like saying that as in you're just greeting someone with more of a I'm not as personal as as saying you're my peer, basically. And
Yeah.
the words, you kind of get the hang of it, because we a lot in English we have a lot of words that mean the same thing as well, or like that are spelled the same way but mean different things. It's the same in Spanish. It's equal, I feel. Just those two things are very different. English has a lot of silent letters that kind of confuses things, and then
Mhm.
Spanish has a lot of feminine masculine things that confuses people.
Yeah, like
Mm.
Apple, like Mazanas is like the feminine one, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
there's
know,
a manzano.
yeah, and it's like, well, I mean, I guess it's like La Mesa, like the table or whatever, right? Or if I'm pronouncing it right,
Yeah.
that's considered as feminine. Whereas other words, yeah, you do have the masculine part. I think when you mention like the usted, like the more respectable approach, I think that's where like some things get kind of tongue twisted, and
Yeah.
especially like when certain words you have to kind of say a little bit backwards. Like
Yes.
if I'm saying like if I'm saying like do IKEA or whatever, right? Or or yo something, right? Because whatever you're saying, you got to make sure. If I'm saying like yo como or something masanas or whatever, like I eat apples or whatever, but because I put yo, now I gotta change the
Yeah.
the inner part,
Yeah.
like
Sometimes
yeah,
it's
to match
backwards.
the yo part,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a lot. It's very backwards, or like you have to bring the action before before everything else. So you really honestly just have to get the hang of it, because
Hmm.
it makes sense once you're saying it, just like English would make sense. It's like if I would have put um no, I'd rather go here instead of there, or I'd rather go there instead of here. It's just kind of like that, where
Hmm.
you make it make sense, I guess. But there is a lot of things where you do have to put the word that's in the end in the beginning, and then when you're translating, like my name.
Yeah.
Mm. I will also say this: like, we are not speaking the King's English. We're speaking a variation of English. We don't
Yes,
even use like thous and hath and all that.
yes, yeah,
So
Hmm.
because English has been broken down, you know, from its truest form, now we're speaking the American side of that language.
Hmm.
And
yeah,
also there's also broken English, right? So if you have broken English, which is really popular, what I mean, in Caribbean, it's very popular, in Central America, Latin America, South America, a lot of people speak broken English. And then
mm-hmm,
there's also slang.
mm-hmm,
So within that,
Hmm.
you know, there's so many variations of that. Just like, in any language, there's different variations of that. Like, use the example of, how Creole is a form of French, you know, for people from Haiti. You know what I mean? And shout out to all my people from Haiti.
Shout
I
out.
have a lot of Haitian friends,
Try to
and a lot
understand.
of people from Dominican Republic too. So
Yes,
salute, salute to that whole place. Yeah, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that a lot of us though, like in Spanish, you will talk to a Puerto Rican, you'll talk to a Mexican and a Venezuelan, Colombian. Like we all talk different and very
Hmm.
different at that. But we're all talking Spanish. Like we're all speaking Spanish to a certain extent, I guess. Like we all kind of dabble into our own, like, from our own native tongue. But overall, I really like that everybody has like their own Ebonics. I mean, not Ebonics, Pig Latin. Do you guys know
Mm.
English Pig Latin? Like when
Yeah,
you
I know,
think
I've heard I've
backwards,
heard of English Pink Latin before. Yeah,
when you
Mm-hmm.
talk
my
backwards.
my
Like to kind
parents
of
and
speak
like a lot of like my cousins and stuff used to speak it back in the day.
So
I never learned it by chance. You know what I mean?
me neither, not anymore.
Um, yeah, me neither. So
But
like,
I know the Spanish one. I know two of the Spanish one. I know one of the Puerto Rican ones, and I know one of the
mm,
Mexican ones. And
mm,
it's like you speak with the F for the
mm,
Mexican one, and then you speak with the I for the Puerto Rican one. So you basically
mm,
replace
Mm.
all the vowels with the I's, and you just talk like fluently.
yeah.
But I think those are really cool because I'm like, I don't know the English one, but I know the Spanish ones, and I think those are way more difficult because it sounds like a whole different other thing that nobody's, those secret languages that you create with your siblings or your twin or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
it's
cool. I
just
feel like part of the cool club, but
yeah, it's different. Like it's just different dialects. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Mm-hmm. I almost feel like you're speaking code, but in your own language, you know? So,
yeah, it is really. I like that.
hmm all right. Let me go and ask you the next question. Actually, well, before I even get to this one, let me see. Maybe that might be a little bit so. Hold on for a second. Let me pull this up. Because one of the questions I do have is, all right. Let me ask you the number three question. Okay, what has been your social? Oh, sorry. What has been your journey in social media?
What does that
Basically,
mean?
sorry, I think that was a little worded incorrectly, but I'm going to have to fix that later. But basically, it's that like, okay, what got you into social media?
Okay, so a long time ago, I was like, when I first had my first account, I was getting really popular because I was like a really big gym rat and stuff.
Hmm.
But then I was just like freaking out because I didn't want to be part of that world where it was just like, influencer and all that stuff. I was freaking out. So I just like got off of it. And then when I came back onto social media, it took me a while to just kind of get to the point where I really wanted to be back out there like that. But once I really just kind of came out with my art and let people see it in early 2021 is when I really just kind of made it public for people to see and just like anyone. Um, just because I knew that I wanted people to, I wanted to share my art to a different extent, and I eventually wanted to just, go out and do different things or whatnot. So I just kind of decided to just, just share more of my artistry as well as others, and artistry that I experienced overall just with social media because that's the easiest way to just kind of get out there. And then the whole pandemic and all that happened. So that was kind of like the only way to kind of get out there for a while. So I just really thought that that was just going to continue to be the place to do it. Although it drives me crazy sometimes, I'm not going to lie. I've been wanting to go ghost all the time. And I decide to, and then I come back because I have to a little bit. But overall, I aspire to get to the point where I don't have to handle none of that. And you guys could just see me on there still, though.
All
Because
right.
it's hard.
Mm.
It's really hard to deal with social media. Don't y'all think? I mean, I know you guys have your show, so I know, do you think that that's
Uh,
also hard?
I mean,
it can, yeah, it definitely can be. Because you're putting your life out there, to the public, and whatever you say, it can't go back. Even if you try to delete an entire video over one little time mistake, people could clip it. People are gonna remember it. The internet, man, it stores so much information.
Yeah.
That's the same way. Like when you go to social media platforms, like besides YouTube, like Facebook, uh, Instagram. The thing is, before like just doing like knowledge relationships and just continuing with the live streams, I wasn't really heavily into Instagram like that. I wasn't even into like Facebook like that
Oh
and social
yeah.
media. Like you may see me post a few pictures just so I could show off to my friends, but that's as far as I go.
Mhm.
And you probably won't even really hear from me for like a minute. But because, we're networking, we're, talking to like, other people, like, through social media. I mean, that's how we're able to find you through social media. So we have to be heavily connected to it.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, but realistically, I'm not really much of a social media fan. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But I do it because that's what we do.
Mm. I do have a question, but before I ask my question, I'll definitely answer yours,
Hmm.
Mhm.
family. I'll say this. Um, it's not difficult for me, being on there at all. You know what I mean? Because it's like I have formatted what I wanted to use it for, and whatever else I don't want to use it for, I just kind of left it out.
Mhm.
Like, so you know, I don't really put anything on there that I, really believe is really personable to me,
Mhm.
right? You know what I mean? I share that with people on an intimate one-on-one basis. You know what I mean? And I just use it strictly for, streaming, strictly for business, strictly for putting out content. So that way, you know what I mean, I still am able to just, do the
Be
things that
private.
I want to do
Mhm.
outside of social media. You know what I mean?
Um,
Um, and I think sometimes we feel like, oh, I got to show people my experience. You ain't got to show people nothing. You know what I mean? All you got to do is give them the content that you're giving.
Yeah.
So, if since you are an artist, all you really have to do display your art, and that's it. You don't have
Yeah.
to tell them what you ate for breakfast. You ain't got to tell them anything like that. But I think a lot of times, or at times, we can feel like, or people can feel like, man, if I don't show them certain things, you know what I mean, then like they're not gonna know me, or they're not gonna follow me, or they're not gonna really enjoy what I'm actually bringing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But then you gotta have the confidence in yourself to just say, you know what, man, what I'm doing is enough. You know what I mean? I have a gift, and what I'm giving is enough. Salute to Chef Shapino. You know what I mean?
Salute
Definitely,
to you,
y'all
brother.
like and subscribe to Chef Shapino. He has some dope content. He's a dope content creator. Follow him on all social media platforms. Okay, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere you can find him. Chef Shapino. He's actually really a chef as well. So yeah,
Hmm.
follow him and the whole team, Lady Andrea and
Certified chef.
Victor and my man Victor Freeze. Vic, what up, baby? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um. So my question to you is, you know what I mean, and it's just based on kind of your response.
Mhm.
Do you find yourself at times being a little bit fearful of, what you do on social media? Like, are you a little bit fearful, and do you kind of feel like, man, like, I don't know if I'm actually able to do this. You know.
Um, I wouldn't say I'm not able to do it because I don't put those boundaries in my life or over my name or over myself ever.
Mhm.
I do whatever I want. So,
Mhm.
but I just don't be wanting to. It's not like I've definitely gotten to a point where I'm very strategic. I know how to post things that don't kind of let people into my real world, and it's
Mhm.
just me. It's just like literally me, my face, or a couple things. The artists that I'm featuring, people in my like close friends see like stupid memes. Like it's just specific things, right? So
Mhm.
people that are watching my stuff or watching me are still entertained by things. But I've definitely gotten to be very strategic on not sharing things so I stay private because I know people are very smart out here and they could like, find you and stuff. But
Hmm.
I think I just don't I feel like somebody else could do it better than me because my artistry is not social media. It's not like, getting people to watch it and it being a certain way. My creativity is like legit here, like it's on paper, it's on interaction with people, and it's like building
Hmm.
creativity, getting creativity from nothing, from like a sentence, from a short conversation that I have with someone, and just like really building those connections, and overall just the conversations that I have with people and stuff like that. All of that stuff to me is what I do good. Social media, being on the computer and all that stuff, that's like I thrive at my job, not in
Mhm.
the art scene kind of thing. Like I really can't wait till I get to that one, to the point where it's like somebody else is taking care of that for me, so then I don't have to do it because I'm not that type of marketer. Like that's my view of it because I know someone could do it better than I can. on that whole thing.
but they really can't though. You know what I
Well, I
mean?
mean, not like, okay, it would still be me. It would
Hmm.
still be me, you know,
Mm,
there, but like somebody else shooting the content, creating the content for me, posting it,
Hmm.
editing it, and all that stuff. Like I could learn, you know, I learned how to edit. I know how to build a website because I had to do a lot of things. But like that's not
Hmm.
that's not what I inspired to do. It actually feels like a job opposed to a
Hmm.
passion and fun and creative. You know, like if we all link up right one day and we're working creatively with like, you know, creative things, we're gonna come up with some fire ass ideas. We're gonna do this, but I will most likely
Hmm.
not be the one on the computer. I will not be the one. I will have a notepad or sketchbook or my
Hmm.
iPad, but I will most likely want to be like, I'm in my groove of the imagination, not building the view of this. You know,
Hmm.
like
okay.
you could use my face, you could use
Hmm.
me, you know, like I will definitely still be the you know, art, because that's one of the things I
Hmm.
definitely call myself. But I just don't want to put it together because it's just like,
Hmm.
it's so time consuming for an artist to have to, like, you know, if that's not my type of artistry, it's so time consuming. I might spend 3 hours on something
Hmm.
that you guys might spend 5 minutes on, you know, and it might
Hmm.
be bomb as hell. Don't get me wrong, it would be lit,
Hmm.
but it's just like you could have done it for 3 minutes and I just wasted 3 hours of my life on something that, you know, I could have outsourced kind of thing.
But there's a reason I said it that they really can't do it better than you.
Oh, what's up? Why?
Okay, because you are creating your own lane. You're
Yeah.
a trailblazer. So when you're creating your own lane and you're a trailblazer, you know what I mean? What you do is supposed to be different. It ain't supposed to be like nothing nobody else is doing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's going to change the game. You know what I mean? And of course, there's going to be people who may be able to process information at a different speed, or they may be able to maybe be more, versatile in certain fields or whatever. I
Mhm.
mean, that happens everywhere in life, right? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So we could just think of like anything that we do on a regular basis, and there's probably somebody who may be able to do it a little bit faster or better or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that is what it is. But there's something uniquely different about what you do on social media that's completely better than everybody else. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
And as long as you look at it that way, then everything else doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like I'm a computer tech, and I mean with computer techs, there, especially where I'm at, like or just in that career, period. There are people who, are super engineers, right?
Mhm.
They can build a computer from scratch. They can put all types of programs on your computer. They can do a whole bunch of things. They can, I could be on one computer, and then from just us having the same internet, they can, jump onto my screen and start putting things on my screen and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh wow, okay, so they're more advanced, right? But
Mhm.
that doesn't take away from my greatness as a computer tech.
Oh yeah, no.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just the fact that they are blazing their trail and I'm blazing mine.
Mhm.
So the fact that you are blazing your own trail and you're actually bringing something to the creative space that's different, you know,
Hmm.
you're the best of what you're doing,
Thank
and nobody can do what you do. You
thank
know what I
you.
mean? So yeah, you're
Awesome. Don't stop. Keep going. I'm just kidding.
welcome.
No, I totally agree with you. I just like sometimes I feel like I think overall like the last few months especially I felt like I just want to get back to the actual canvas where it's just me and it, and opposed to like, you know, having to do so much of the other work, because I don't always get to do that. Even though I paint often, I do live shows, I you know, I'm at events on stage painting and all that stuff. It's not always like really just me and the art like it when it
Hmm.
first started. So I think that's what makes it feel different, because now I have all these other hats as a business owner that I have to wear, where,
Mhm.
you know, it takes from my creativity. So it's just like it sucks a little bit, but I like it. And I definitely don't ever, you know, stop shining my own light on myself, because I do like that. I don't feel that I'm like anyone else, and I don't feel that anyone else is like, you know, in the same exact lane that I'm in. They might be inspired by it. They might, you know, take some things from that come out from me or whatnot, or they might be looking up to me overall, but I know
Hmm.
that for sure I'm in my own lane, and it's not, it's not it's also not deviating from what I want, but also not kind of throw shade on anybody else or anything like that. So I know that
Exactly.
it's an individual, but
Yeah.
thank you for
Oh,
saying that.
you're welcome.
I
You're welcome. You
appreciate
know what
it.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because the part of social media is content. That's the biggest thing. Content is king, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you provide the content, that's all that matters. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And if you're doing that on a regular basis, which you are, you're good. Like everything else is just everything else. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know,
Hmm.
and pretty much the public, they're not gonna really be thinking like, can she use a computer? They ain't not even thinking about that. They're just like,
Nah.
oh man, yo, that painting is bomb. That's all they're gonna think. Oh man, who's this person she's talking to? That's all they're gonna think about. They're not even thinking about the fact that you ain't even
I
freaking
know.
create a thumbnail or anything like that. They ain't even they not even that's not even on their mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some
Because you
people
ever
don't realize, they don't even know about that stuff, so they don't even
yep.
realize. It's just
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
us that we like nitpick everything because we're artists in that way. We're just like,
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely my worst critic also. Even though I have my
Hmm.
stuff up, I'm like always criticizing, like, no, do it better. You could do this, or all of
Hmm.
this stuff. But I try to be good about that, so I don't drive myself crazy.
Well, that's because we know like what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
when you do stuff, the work when you put the work in behind the scenes, you see like the smallest detail that is off, and you're like, no, like I need to fix that before I present the presentation. The
Mhm.
thing is, the people who are watching, they're not looking for any small hiccups. You know,
Yeah.
they're just looking at the product. What can the product do for themselves? And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now, if you do go over the route where it's like, okay, you want to expedite certain time, just make sure that the people who are working with you or for you, just make sure that they see like your vision. Because when you're working with other people, sometimes it takes a learning curve for people to see, but also understand like your vision to like how you want your product to be represented.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
really hard, honestly. I've been looking for people, and I've worked on and off with different people and stuff like that. But it is really hard to find someone like that. And um, I heard not too long ago. I don't know where I heard this, but I know that people that are like us, that are like, people that are motivated and just kind of like strive through to their goals and to the things that they want to get. It's really hard to find people like us because those people that are like us are also on their own shit. They're doing their own thing. They're trying to progress in life and they're not stopping. So it's really hard to find someone like that. You honestly kind of have to build them like that. Where it's just like you find someone that is still kind of not really sure, but then you teach them, you show them the way, you mentor them and all that stuff. That's like when you
Hmm.
get those, that's when you find the us in them because you mentor them into it. But it's really hard to find that, like for real, really hard. I think that's why artists will take a lot longer to kind of get out there sometimes because it's hard to
Hmm.
find someone to help you build up to your highest potential in your own artistry.
But it has to be like an interdependent relationship when you're
Yes.
working with people.
Yeah.
And our approach, you know, on what we do as a team here is, we help each other out, but everybody's their own boss. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, everybody has their own platform, they have their own social media, they have their own channels outside of knowledge and relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing stuff, that allows them to kind of be creatively, not kind of be creatively, but be creatively who they want to be on a regular basis. You know what I mean? As well as they bring stuff to the team, you know, and we're able to discuss things as a team, you know.
Hmm.
Yes.
And of course, we make decisions. We make it as a team, and then we converse about things. We figure out, okay, what's the best solution for everything, and then we go from there. And I think that's what it has to be. And I think people. I don't think I feel like it's not the fact that people don't want to help, right? I just think that when it comes to it, like it's twofold, right? One, you don't want to get burnt, right? That's the number one feeling. Nobody wants to get burnt. Nobody want to feel like, man, I done put all this effort out here, and now this person just gone. They left me. Like they're not trying to help me. They may have stole some ideas. You know what I mean? They just completely, you know, it just completely just blew up in my face, right? And I done
Mm-hmm.
put all this time, money, and effort, and now this person just gone. You know what I mean? And now I just wasted everything, right? Or we also feel like, okay, I want to be around people who actually understand where I'm trying to come from and who are not trying to, change who I am, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And that can also be another thing, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we get with people and it's like, well, you should do it this way and you should do it that way. And why don't you draw like this? And why don't it's like, or why don't you create like this or this and the third? It's like, no, I have my own field. This is my lane. Like, either you can understand it, you know what I mean, and you can try to find out why I'm doing what I'm doing, or you just don't, you know what I mean. I want people to encourage me to do things differently, not try to force me to do things differently.
Yes.
Or tell me that like, oh, what I'm doing is not beneficial. It's like, no, this is what I want to do. Like, it's not. And here's the thing too. What I've noticed too, as being a creative person, and putting things out there, everything I create is not for everybody. You know,
Yes.
it's only going to be for a specific person, a specific audience, and there's millions and billions of people in the world. So I want the millions and billions that's for me. You know what I mean? And that appreciates me. Everybody else, y'all can go, and then y'all probably gonna come back anyway. once,
Right. At
once
least to
things
be nosy.
really keep going.
At least to be nosy, and that's okay because I'm
Mm-hmm.
still confused. But
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I definitely think that everyone could coexist. You don't have to knock anyone down. You don't have to necessarily even need to bring them up. But like, if you coexist, a lot of things would just flow naturally. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
it's all about me or whatnot. Because believe me, a lot of artists out here in the metroplex in Dallas and also in Cali and in Florida, to me, they bring a lot of the creativity just to my mind. Just like, things that they talk about, things they say, maybe they post something and I'm like, man, that'd be raw with this other thing, like it's just
Mm-hmm.
overall, I think it just comes from everywhere, so anyone could really do it. It doesn't need to be like a thing where we bring each other down just because we both want to be in this. Shoot, we could
Mm.
probably make a lot of money together, but it's just, honestly, I think it's just a lot of pride with everyone overall.
The
Just like
eagles getting on
pride,
them. Mm-hmm.
yeah, pride and ego is like the biggest downfall for anyone working together, because it's either your way, the highway, half of the time or most of the time, and it can't always be that way. Sometimes you just have to, put your pride and ego down, or just completely walk away and know that that's just not for you, because
Mm.
some things could be for you and just some other things just might not just be your fit. And
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
it's just a form of insecurity
yeah.
to me. Like when you're like, if you're that prideful just off of us trying to collaborate or do something, then to me that just shows me that you're insecure. Like, there's things in your life that just are not going right for you, and you have to exude so much pride. You know what I mean? Where we're actually just trying to help each other. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm showing you
Salute,
that I
Marcus.
want to be a part of the team. Salute to Marcus. What's going on? What's going on, sophomore? You know what I mean? So, excuse me. Like that's the biggest thing. Like at the end of the day, I don't have to be on social media or anywhere or any platform. You know what I mean? Because I want to, create an image, or I want to be, somebody of relevance, or I want to be cool. Or I want to have a life. I already have that already. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I'm not doing it to gain any of that. I'm already that in my
Yeah.
regular life. So I don't have to be on here and be like, man, I'm gonna puff myself up and I'm gonna create all this stuff. Like, no, I don't. And not only that, I don't have to be heard all the time. There's
Yeah.
times where other people need to be heard because, they're gonna bring a perspective. You know what I mean? They're gonna bring something to the table that's going to help everyone. And it's probably gonna be something that can help me as well. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So, but if I never give them a chance, you know what I mean, to express them, I said never, never give them a chance to express themselves, right? Then I'm not going to learn something new. And life is about being a student. It's about learning from each other,
Yeah.
gathering
Mm-hmm.
experiences, and so that way we can grow. You know what I mean? But if I'm always focused on my experience, then I'm not growing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stay
Mhm.
Uh,
stagnant.
yeah. I really, I think, and mucho gusto to whoever said that. Hi, him. um,
Oh,
I
no.
really, really,
Mhm.
like to be quiet. Like, I think I told M3 this. Like, I'd rather be the person in the room that is like quiet and listening to everything else, just because I want to learn. Like, forget me right now. What are y'all talking about? Like, what can I take back with me? What can I learn? What can I really
Mhm.
be able to elevate myself from what you already know, and not really, the need for me to have to go through my own trials and tribulations. Now I'm cool. If you already went through this and you had a bad experience, let me know. Let me find out. Let me maybe even just hear. You're probably talking about a really good system that I could use to improve my show. Like, there's so many things that I could learn from other people that I just rather be the one that's just there listening, taking notes, like, my no mental notes or whatever in my mind,
Hmm.
just because I appreciate the knowledge that is just out there.
Yeah.
I don't have to be
Mhm.
the one that's like always giving the knowledge out. I really love to learn. So for me to be able to just be around other people that they enjoy doing that stuff and they like, could talk about it and all that stuff, that I'd rather be that person that's just there listening and,
Y-
enjoying.
You the old saying for some people will say is that the best solution based person is the listener because you listen, you hear everything.
Mhm.
What a person is, what a person is going through, the characteristics, the needs, and the wants, and it allows our brains to process, and think, well, maybe if this person allowed him or herself to do it this way or that way, you don't even have to be always be the person to make suggestions.
Mhm.
Just be the listening ear, and people will appreciate that. The other thing I was going to say earlier, right, as far as when people they have like their egos flare up, is one thing to have competition. Now I'm talking about the healthy competition versus the toxic competition. See, the healthy competition is that you see someone that is advancing. So it's like an admiration that you want to be on that person's level or
Mhm.
even above. It doesn't matter. But it brings you out of like your laziness and your shell.
Mhm.
But then where it becomes toxic is that you want the person now to be defeated
Yeah.
and removed out of the picture so you can feel good about yourself. And that's where I feel like a lot of people in the space is at, like mentally. They see people of their own that's doing well successfully, and instead of just taking just zipping it up, take mental notes and learn how to do better. You want to make video reactions or whatever. You want to try to rip that person apart to diminish their character and their work of art. And I think that's where people they get things mixed up, and that's why people stay in a certain like it's like a crabs in a barrel type of mentality.
Mhm.
The crab try to reach up to the top, and you pulling it down. And I think that's where it's like for us, we got to continue to focus that look, you may have to remove yourself around that space of people, those type of people that's bringing your vibe down.
Mhm.
Some people may want you to paint in a certain color. They might want you to paint red, but you want to continue painting blue. It's whatever you want to do, basically. No rhymes intended, but you know what I mean?
Yes, yes. That it fits. So yes. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel like overall when real creative people get around real creative people and they don't have their
Hmm.
ego, they're not in it for that specific thing. It's their ego is, settled and they don't crave it. So they are able to just, be there and enjoy and just like live through the experience and not really just be like, hey, this is about me and we're only gonna focus on me and let's make me better and bigger and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it's not
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah. I have another question to ask you, Azul. So the other question is, Okay. Now, in the midst of getting your artwork out there, exploring and networking with other people, especially within like your community. Um, I know that it has to take a lot of like planning, scheduling, a lot of meetups or Google meetups, however you want to call it, right? But my question is, do you have any experience of event planning?
Um,
Just for our audience.
so, yes, like I started to do event planning and all that stuff, in 2021, when I first came out to everyone out here in Dallas, and like I did this private show or whatnot. But then immediately after that, like I was just doing events back just all the time. Um, Overall, I think just growing up in a Latino Hispanic household, it's just like, when you are planning for a party, it's just kind of a whole event. So
Hmm.
overall, with life experience and all that stuff, I think just as life went on, I just, picked up better traits on that and how to do it better, and who to contract to be able to execute, the things that I really wanted to work a certain way or whatnot. But yes, and I have a lot of connections with people out here in Dallas and in California and in Florida and stuff. So if you guys need anything, let me know.
Okay. Hey, I mean, we'll definitely keep you in mind.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Well, with the experience that you have, has it gotten a lot easier versus your first experience?
No.
Oh, okay.
Planning is so hard. Like honestly, after any event that I have, I always go to the closest people
Hmm.
that I invited, or went, or got to see the whole process from the beginning to the end. And I'm like, all right, tell me the good things and tell me the bad things. But like really, I want to know what were the things that they honestly thought, because I want to make them better. It's not for them to talk crap to me, or just like bring me down or anything. It's just like for real, they kind of know me already. They would know what I would want, or what the idea of what I expected to be, and maybe it didn't present itself like that. So we just kind of talk about things. I write things down. I take it back. I build on that. I see if I could make it better, or if I need to just eliminate it just because it's not flowing the way that I would want. And then the next time we don't do it like that. So each event has progressed, but overall, I think you just learn from every single item, regardless. I might be 10 years in, and still there might be something that I'm like, well, that didn't happen before like that. We need to make sure that doesn't happen the next time, or that we make sure that that's already on the list, that this is one of the things that could happen. So we need to be prepared in case it does again, or, it never happened before and it only happened that 1 year, but like, you never know. So
Hmm.
all those things are just in preparation for you to just elevate and grow and learn, and just, I that's how I take life overall. It may have happened the way that I wanted, but it may have been that it was a lot of things on the list that went wrong. I want to make sure that every single time that I do anything else again, that if my name is on it, I literally want it to be perfect, but I understand that I'm not perfect. So from the things that come next time, I'm gonna
Hmm.
try better and just try better.
Okay, okay. So basically, overall, it's like it's just good to pretty much always stay prepared year after year because you have to keep up with the times. There's always things that's changing in
Yeah.
event planning. So,
And everything in the world, it's just, things change from one day to another.
yeah. Well, I mean, hey, that's definitely like a good skill to have because not a lot of people, really have that skill to plan like a lot of events or to coordinate and then just bring like not just the people like in your area, but all walks of people like in
Mhm.
different areas as well too, and
Yeah.
just trying to collect and adjust to the vibes of other people. So.
Mhm. Yes, that's very true. It's difficult. It's really time consuming and stressful, but when you see it all kind of play out,
Mhm.
it's fulfilling for sure.
Okay, okay, and that's what's up. I mean, I feel like the end result is always worth all the stress that you endured.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it sounds like we need to speak about, doing creative stuff behind the scenes. So we'll definitely speak about that once this is over.
For sure.
And yeah, we'll see, kind of how we can work with each other. So
That'd
yeah,
be lit.
yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, for sure. Oh wait, well, one last question about event planning. I just want to make sure that I don't get this mixed up, right? I mean, I know what event planning is, but um, can you tie event planning as far as like promoting, like being a promoter? So like you know how like the logistics of promoters, right? I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of a little similar to event planning, but it's like you're kind of promoting a brand. I don't know. Maybe I'm
So
I'm off, but
I think it's both, to be honest. Maybe so it depends. So when you're planning an event, you
hmm
have so many different people that you have to have, right? Like
hmm
for my this one event, I don't know if it'll show on my website or not. I have to check that. I might have hit it just for now because it's not open for view. But um, this show that I have every year in Dallas is called Artistic Moves, and I'm planning to take it to Cali soon and to Florida as well. But it's basically tied up with all the local artists and stuff that are in the area. And if you are a vendor, if you're a performer, if you have any kind of line of anything, any products, clothing, all that stuff like that. So we set up a show, people come out, you're just enjoying the artistry. There's food, drinks, all that stuff. So there's like a variety of different things that you could do. That's one type of event. There's also events like, when within that event, you have so many people. You have a lot of vendors, you have a lot of performers, you have normally like a fashion show, you have a lot of things going on. So you have to make sure that you have everyone available for the things that they have to do, or if somebody has to take charge of something. I definitely have tried it where I'm like the one handling everything. It did not go as smooth as it went the next year because I did kind of like hang things off of people because I couldn't really do everything by myself. But it I think it just depends on the type of event that you're holding. We also have like open mics and stuff like that. Those are a little bit more different. You don't require like a big staff or anything like that, but they're different. So it's just events. They're it depends on the one that you want to have. I've had private ones. I have had where it was just like me and one other person going to perform, and it was
hmm
just like my art, their music. It just depends. Events could vary from big to I mean from small to big.
okay. Well, then this is a follow up question. With everything that you do, K. Marion asks, do you plan? I'm sorry. Do you do wedding planning, birthday parties, quinceañeras?
So I've done birthday parties. I actually am working with a wedding planner. So if you guys need that, I have the perfect person for you. And she travels, but I don't personally do that because I feel like it just takes away too much from my artistry. I
Okay.
have done it. I can assist. I can like direct on things. I probably wouldn't be the main person, but I would have some input into the planning or whatnot,
hmm
just because I have to delegate some things out sometimes. But overall, I only work with creative artists that are on the same kind of level or same kind of mind frame because, again, it's really hard to find these type of people, but they are out there, and that's why I try to network a lot with everyone in so many different places because I know that there's a need for it, even if even if we're kind of just like in the down and out on things, we're always going to want to celebrate.
hmm
That's just in our culture. We're always going to bring light, want to bring light and food and dance and all that stuff to any kind of celebration that we have. So overall, that's not going away. So it's really good to keep network with those type of people, even if I'm not fully into it all the time.
Okay. Okay. Now I want to get to kind of get back into like painting
Yeah.
because and here's the thing. Maybe I didn't ask you this question before, right? Because like I said, when you do event planning and then you're the coordinator of all things, um, well, as a small question, like, do you like in some events, like, do they ask like, have you ever been asked like to paint murals or Um, because I don't know, like, hopefully I'm not asking the wrong questions, like, because you do, for sure you do like decoration as well too. But have you used like your painting skills, right? Maybe like there's tables or something that you might want to add like your own spice or color to it, or something that's on the wall that they'll allow you to use, like like a paintbrush or whatever. Have you ever done that part before in your event plannings?
At an event that I've like coordinated, no, because it
Hmm.
is a lot. Like for me to be able
Okay.
to paint somewhere, they commission me for that. Like they're hiring me to be at the event where I would just be like a performer.
Hmm.
As well as in being commissioned, basically they are hiring me to paint something specifically or do something specifically that they want. When I'm kind of coordinating an event, I will have my art there if it's that kind of art thing. If it's something that my art could be displayed, I would have it there. If it isn't like that, then I would just go do my job, as that person, as I'm wearing that hat. But
Hmm.
when I paint, it's a whole thing. Like I have to
Okay.
prepare for that, make sure that I have all my tools and everything. I have to get into my creative state of mind and all that stuff, and just kind of block everything out, not be
Mhm.
so hectic. And when it's coordinating something, it's super hectic. It's just like everyone calling you in from all over the place. People are texting you, calling you, things aren't here, who picked that up, who missed it. It's so much stuff, and
Man.
I can't be in that brain when I'm painting. It just kind of has to be more, even if I'm flowing and I'm dancing and I'm in the groove while I'm painting,
Hmm.
it's I'm definitely going off the vibe. And if it's hectic, I don't want to do that. It's painting is the last thing from my mind if it's hectic.
Well, I commend you for having the mental fortitude to even endure like all that, because I could
Mhm.
that to me could be like a headache. So
Yeah, it's a headache
I
sometimes.
will easily like withdraw with all that.
Mhm.
Um,
It's fun though. It's like a fun headache.
yeah, I
I don't
get you.
know, like a hangover maybe. Like
Okay,
Oh
you
wow.
had
okay,
fun,
okay.
but
We could put it like that, like a hangover a little bit, like
yeah.
you went through, but kind of like in the
But it's
reverse.
backwards. Yeah,
Yeah,
like we were talking. Yeah, it's
yeah. So
backwards.
like an overhang, maybe I don't know. We'll say it like that.
Overhead.
You went through your problems, your troubles, and all that, and now you're feeling refreshed though. So the reverse
Yeah,
hang,
it's
yeah,
the reverse. Like you're happy, you saw it happen, everything came out good or whatever, and then now you're done. So it's just like,
yeah.
finished, check mark.
Well, okay. Have you ever the other question I have right for you, and this could be like a job or maybe someone that is well known, but have you designed any logos like for any celebrities or your career, the job that you work for? Have you ever
Um,
had that type of experience?
so I have designed logos for a lot of different businesses
Mhm.
out here in Dallas.
Yeah.
From planning events and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Different artists like spoken words,
Yeah.
rappers, singers.
And you don't have to say like anyone's like names, like the celebrities or whatever.
No,
Yeah.
no, because some people, well, I told you this, but some people I do like, I do stuff that where it's just like they commission me for it. If people
Mhm.
commission me for stuff, I kind of don't show that stuff all the time. Like I don't make it
Mhm.
seen. Just
Yeah.
because somebody paid me to do that, it's not from me, from my heart, from my emotions, from my mind. That's the
Mhm.
stuff that I want to put out there. If you want to hire me for something and then you want to put me out there,
Mhm.
hey, Bella did this for me, or like I commissioned her, that's you showing like to me. But
Mhm.
if it's something that you hired me to do and you paid me for, I won't really put it out there because I think it's more of a private thing that you contacted me for.
Mhm.
So it's kind of, but I do have with a lot of different artists out here. I painted a couple murals at different places in some homes, like private homes and stuff like that. I've done things for like people's offices and stuff. I did design or just kind of like brought to life into like actual items for this one rapper here in Dallas and Houston. Um, he had this whole like uh image of his characters, not him, but like a character that they designed, and it's like a plot. So it's kind of like a cartoon plot, I guess, in some way, but
Mhm.
it's really cool, to be honest with you. So uh his name, I will mention him because I have done a lot of work for him. His name is Asshole in Gold. He's in Dallas. He has a store in Dallas. And I painted his walls. Like his whole store is art. He hired me to paint the art on there, and it was basically transferring that digital thing into an actual item. So I put that on the wall. I put it on jackets, on shoes, and stuff like that. But that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that one because that was like one of the first times that I actually started doing that for artists,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed it. I think that I could continue to do that, but sometimes I really kind of it doesn't art doesn't always feel the same, and it doesn't feel as fun as when I'm doing commission work as in when I'm creating my own stuff. So sometimes it just gets a little bit like, I just want to do my stuff. I just want to, be in my vibe. And if you guys like it, you like it. But other times I'm just like, okay, I'll bring something else in. I'll see how I could turn their image into a reality. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. That's why I probably don't like commissions as much as, people probably think that artists do. But I don't think a lot of artists like doing commissions unless it's like in their range of what they like to put out there, they like to create. Because some people will try to hire you to do some crazy stuff, and it's just like I don't even do that type of work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Real quick, I want to give a shout outs to Mr. Cyril Hell Speaks. So thank you. He's in the building. So salute to you, Mr. Cyril Hell Speaks. Thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships.
Sure, hell, what's going on, brother?
And let's see. Salutes to Mr. Into the Soapbox. Hello, Azul. Hey, chat. So thank you, Sir Hell Speaks for checking in. And everyone else, please, you know, if you're new to Knowledge Relationships and this is your first time, please subscribe. We are, I think, like I don't want to jinx ourselves, but we are 2 subscribers away from reaching to 900.
Come on, you
So
guys.
yeah, so definitely please share and show your support, and also check out Azul Bella's like website. Azul, do you mind if I show off your website
Oh,
real
go
quick?
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, and I want to make sure for some reason when I post on here, it's not being clickable. So let me try this one more time. Excuse me for a second, all right, before I even post it up here. Let me try. Let's see what happens. Put www. Let's see. Oh, actually, okay. Hold on for 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Try this one more time. All right, that's weird. For some reason, it's not being like. Well, I'm trying to send it as a clickable link, but well, let me show it off real quick. Okay, so this is Azul, and I said Bella. Sorry, Azul Bea's website. So all you have to do is just type in azulbea.com. So Azul, okay, Bella, and then it will take you to like her R Street website, and then so Azul like anything that you want me to kind of click on real quick.
So let's go down here on this page first, so you guys
Okay.
can see some of my art. It'll show it to you.
Okay.
So
So
all over the page, I have like a lot of different. You could click on uh not that one. Right before that, it says shop prints, all prints or something. Go
let
up.
me. Oh, go up.
Yeah, right there. That one. Shop all prints right there.
Okay.
So you guys will see poetry all over the place. But a lot of things are clickable. So if you're on there, just explore, have fun, try to find whatever's available there. You'll find some like cute things. I don't let everybody know exactly what it is, just so you guys could kind of look through it yourselves and find the hidden gold and gems that are on there. So if you could scroll down, that shows you some of the art. Do you see it on there?
Okay. Let me scroll down.
So here you'll find some of the merch and some art that I have. This page is gonna be some stuff is gonna be removed on here, but this does have some of the actual canvas
Hmm.
stuff that I have up there. So you'll see it. That one's called Hair Power. I definitely feel that the power is coming from our hair, and that
Hmm.
It's a sweatsuit. I love that suit. And I really kind of just like this page because it still shows a lot of really older stuff. So if
Hmm.
you guys want to purchase any of that, let me know. But it does show some of the pictures on there. I like that school
Yeah,
one.
I
School
like
is
that too.
super.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I recently just added more stuff with that school. I have a puzzle that is up there. But that hoodie is super dope. I'm gonna bring it to you guys in different ways. But um if you just, yeah, you could scroll down, you can see a lot of other different things. If you go back up to the top, you'll see the other things. I definitely want you guys to see the colors and covers. That's my show. So that's
Am I right up here?
yeah, no, keep going up.
Keep going up. Okay.
Yeah, so click on colors and covers.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's gonna take you guys to the it's kind of like my YouTube, but it's gonna show you guys all. There it goes. So that's the show background kind of. But if you scroll down, you'll start seeing all the past episodes that we recently had in Dallas. This is live in Dallas, so this is where we feature the artists that are local artists out here, and that we basically just go through a whole show. We're featuring them. That is Iron right there. That was the last show that I had. I kind of took a little break because I
Okay.
have a big conference next week, but um, we're gonna come back with a lot of different artists coming up. And then if you just keep going down, it just shows you, gives you a little bit of information, and then past artists that we've had on the show, so you guys
Hmm.
could go out and explore the artists that have been on the show already.
Okay. So, Azul, like, is this like your YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay. And would you like for me to kind of like post a YouTube channel in the chat?
Sure, but I don't know the link or have the link ready for you. But yeah, let's see if I
Um,
can get it for you though.
Let me see what I could do. Okay,
Okay.
watch it on YouTube. Let me try this.
So there's a lot of things out there, and actually, if you guys go, if you're gonna go out there and watch it, like if the first few videos that I have are from one of the like just kind of little clips of the first events that I have for artistic moves. So if you guys are in Dallas, or if you guys see that we're gonna have one in your state, just come out and check it out. It's gonna be dope.
Okay, so I just found it. So let me show it off real quick. Oops, hold on. Wait, wrong one. All right, let me share this again. Let's see.
And we recently went from IG Live into YouTube. So we were just doing IG Live, and then we went into the studio and we started doing the studio. So um, I think it's in
Okay,
videos.
so this is the link right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. I don't know if you could see it. Okay, so there it is. So everybody take the time to you know, YouTube search, but I will also post the links, and then that way you guys could follow. But yeah, Asubaya. So let's go ahead and get her subscribers up there as well too. So let
Yeah.
me type this in the chat.
But we show this show every week is on my website. So we show it streams live from the website too.
Okay. So I posted it like in the chat. So anybody that's in the chat right now, they could click on it easily, and then they can also subscribe.
Thank
Make
you.
sure you hit the notification bell. So look, hold on. Let me go up real quick. Let me demonstrate with you guys. So like I said, I just subscribed, so that's why you'll see subscribe. Okay, but go to the bell. Make sure that from personalized, click all. Okay, and you'll get all notifications. So whenever they go live or whenever they post something, you'll be notified. And then just check out like the models from a YouTube channel, and make sure you guys give your support. Ladies and gentlemen. So not just guys.
Hmm. So, Lady Azul, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Who is your favorite artist?
Like musical artists
I
or
meant I meant to say painter, but
okay. Um painter from the people that I know, let me see. Cause I'm not really like I don't really idolize a lot of people. So famous
Hmm.
people, I don't know. I know Frida, Chloe. She's super bomb. She's like a whole nother level. But um,
Frida Kahlo.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
But
The best woman painter of all time,
and she's
hands
a
down.
poet and she's
Yes.
Mexican, so it's just like so
Yeah.
many things. But I think I'm really kind of a fan of people that I know that I get to meet and that I get to experience and stuff. And there's this artist out here in Dallas. Let me see if I could look him up, if I could pull up his name because he's super bomb. But
Yeah,
oh
I
Frank,
put Frida Kahlo up there with like Langston Hughes or like a James Baldwin or something like that. You know,
yeah.
artists who are people of who
So
are ethnic or who are of our culture.
Yes, I
And
definitely
they faced a lot of scrutiny.
culture.
You know.
hmm
Yes, definitely for sure. This artist that I think he is one of the artists where I first when I first was kind of just getting out there to going to different art shows out here in Dallas to just see and experience and see what I wanted was trying to get into. Where I wanted to see myself and stuff. When I
Hmm.
first saw his art, I was just like, oh wow! It's just like, and you guys have to check him out. His name is Frank Morrison, and I'm gonna actually
Mm.
send you on his profile. He is super dope and he's a really dope artist out here in the metroplex. I know that he is like really known. Let me see if I could get you. Yeah, okay. So I'll send this to you guys so you guys could see, check him out. But he's super dope, and his artistry is very culture based, and it gives me those vibes. I forgot the artist's name, but the Good Times artist, the one that did all that, the
for
shows
the intro.
dancing.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
that's his vibe, and
Yeah,
he's showing me
he did the
details.
art cover for Marvin Gaye "I Want You" album,
Yes,
and
yes, yes,
he did
yes.
all the
hmm
good time stuff. But it was portrayed that actually JJ was doing art, which he wasn't. Jimmy Walker was not
Yes.
doing that art. It was
Yeah,
actually that
no.
artist. So yeah, I know who you're
Yes,
talking about.
and I really like a lot of that artist's name. I forgot his name, but Frank Morrison is really he gives me those vibes where it's just like wow, and there's so many detail in it. And to me, like when there's detail, that's like my
Yeah.
favorite thing because I love to stare at it. I like to look at the strokes of the brush or whatever. If they did mixed media, so if they put like acrylic, but they also got some oil in there. If they got some marker, a sprinkle of whatever. If they put some actual objects, like you could as an artist like you just get inspired by their artistry. So for me it's more local based. If I go into any kind of city out here in
Mhm.
the states or whatnot, I really would rather know and get to see the local people where there's just like it's kind of like the underground. I don't really go towards the really famous people already. You done had all your views and all that stuff. You already got that. So for me I really think I um go towards the people that are not like really out there like that. So it's just always going to be local people. But definitely him. I know he's a little known, but
Mhm.
his artistry is super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I think
talking
I found
about
out.
Sir Ernie Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name, Ernie Barnes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
He's so dope, and I love it because he basically, like I say, spoke to our experience and kind of how we
Yeah.
dance, how we move, everything.
Go up. But
Um,
there's one of somebody, I think it's like in the train tracks or something like that. Um
Oh,
of
should
his
okay.
specifically. Yeah.
Should I
I
go back?
I no, I think you could scroll up just like on the images. You should show it because it's really popular. But
you can just scroll down.
yeah, I love his work because it's very like even with a lot of things like he has a lot of detail, but then he has specific pieces where it's just like the person and then nothing else. Like just like in the city, in the town or whatever. There's one of this little girl I think walking through like the street, the sidewalk or whatnot. But I love his work. His work
Hmm.
is super dope. I don't think it's there, but
Is this the
overall.
one they talking about the train?
No, no, no. But overall, I mean, just all his stuff is
Hmm.
like really, it's so dope.
Yeah, we have like a lot of
Yeah.
talented people out here,
Yeah.
and they don't, I feel like they don't get enough credit as deserved, but definitely, here we definitely appreciate people's artwork and their contribution to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact that like he not to be repetitive, but he showed all aspects of our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, from just like every single thing that we've experienced. Like you've seen, like there's one picture of, what I mean, somebody celebrating in New Orleans. You know what I mean, during the festivals.
Yeah.
And it also showed like, how we do how there's people sitting on the park bench and somebody may be a little bit too inebriated. You know what I mean? And that's actually a real thing. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's what we do. We sit on the park bench and we chill out. You know what I mean? And we have our beer and we have
Yeah.
our
Look at
stuff
the
with
little
us.
girl.
Oh, I'm
Or
sorry,
is
guys.
that a guy? I'm sorry. No, it was the picture on the screen. Sorry, I got excited.
Oh, bro.
It was I think it's I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but they're walking like with a little stride, um, with a cap and gown.
Oh, I like that one. That one is dope. I
Right?
love that
It's
picture
so
right
dope.
there.
There it goes.
Right here.
Yes, that one's so dope. I love that one. It's a guy. That's so
Hmm.
cute because it's like it really was like that. And I know for so many people back in the day, like I know that it was like, even that could have gotten you so much trouble and stuff over you just being like, with your stride happy to go and graduate and all that stuff.
Salute,
So
BZ. Yeah.
uh-huh.
So to be easy, that dude.
Hmm.
My favorite painter, what I mean, of all time would have to be Bob Ross. I love Bob Ross.
Yeah, I'm
That's
kind
my
of the
guy.
girl Bob Ross. People call me that.
Oh
Because I got my
wow.
little fro, and I'm painting. I be painting on the show and stuff. But I be getting my feelings hurt a little bit sometimes, and then other times I'm like, Bob
Hey, that's my
Ross.
guy.
See,
Hmm.
let me just wait. Let me give you the example. Where's my paintbrush? I just had
But
one
you know,
closed.
Oh, you about to bring out the? Okay.
the only thing that you have to do, you have to speak in the very melodic, relaxing voice
I know. I
that he
do
does.
normally. I'm kind of just being a little bit more high for you guys, but I kind of just always talk in a very same tone. I'm just like cool, calm, and relaxed. But
Yeah.
yes, I love me some Bob Ross. I remember just mad early or mad late with cereal on the couch, just watching. You know,
Yeah,
back in
shout out to PBS, man. Shout out to
shout
you
out for sure.
Definitely, man. Yeah, man. I almost forgot about Bob Ross, man, because like he definitely have like some good talents, man.
Have
Talented
you
man.
guys?
Oh, that's another great artist too. Shout out to
Hmm.
the Black King,
For
John
sure.
Michael Baptiste. Yes, man. Basquiat. Yes.
Oh,
John
yes.
John Michel
Yeah.
Basquiat. Yes.
Is
You know what I
really
mean?
talented. You know what I think about? I've always told a lot of my people is
Mm.
like I he worked a lot through he painted through a lot of pain and a lot of
Hmm.
misery and sorrow and all that stuff. And I feel like the only time I really want to paint is when I'm happy, when I'm in a good mood. I don't want
Yeah.
to be out here um locking in those bad emotions for somebody to purchase it and take it away with them, like I don't
Hmm.
know, but I feel like if I were to do that, if I were to kind of just channel all my bad pains and put it on the canvas, I would be mad rich and I would have been mad famous already. But
Yeah.
I don't know,
Mm.
like it's just it takes you to another world, like I know that it
Yeah.
does. A lot of painters have like died doing
Yep.
it because they're just so they go crazy over it, and it's just like I think I could give y'all some artistry and not go crazy in the meantime, so maybe when I get super old and I'm ready to just be by myself and all that stuff for the end of
Yeah.
days. But I don't know about giving y'all those like sad and heartbroken pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
actually have a
mean,
Basquiat hat as well. It's one of my. I have a
Yeah.
dad hat with the little. It has like a little crown or whatever. The
Oh
gold
yes,
oh
crown
yes,
that
yes.
used
wow.
to always do.
I like that.
Um, and he with him, he grew up. He's a New York native like myself. He grew up in New York City just like me. And back in those times, it was hard because he was a man of color, and he grew up in the inner cities, and it was rough. It was
Hmm.
rough, and his art was always scrutinized because he was a man of color and he was doing art, and that was a rarity. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So especially when you're in the biggest city in the world, and you have to fight to make yourself known and fight to make yourself um, be seen. I forgot the other guy next to him. I think his name is Cone or something like that.
Yeah.
Ah, forgot his name though.
But look at his art. Like, look at it. Like, I have a lot of pieces. Some pieces that are like that. They're not as sad. But that piece
Hmm.
alone looks like, what were you thinking? What were you going through? There's so many things. Like, what do y'all see when you see that?
I see like a
Um.
lot of images. Like I see like well, you know, if you look at the eyes on this one, I wish I could kind of blow it up a little bit. Let's see what happens if I double click this one.
I think you click it once and it will open it. Like, just bring it up.
Okay, it's not bringing. Okay,
No.
nah. Oh, but you know what? Let me try to zoom in. At least that would help, or maybe not. Okay, forget about it. But as long as you guys can see where I'm pointing at,
Yeah.
like the eyes. Okay, like I see tiredness, depression. I mean, the list could go on. I see some type of trauma. If you look at the stitches, close like to the head, on the head and the brain area, right here, look like a little tiny person that's in his head. That's the first thing that's coming to my mind. Okay. Um, I don't want to give too much of my thoughts away because I want you guys to have your own opinions to it. But I see
That's
like
cool,
a
man.
lot of things. I see like a window and look like from what's out the window. Maybe he's looking at
Yes.
some type of, I don't know. It looked to me, it looked like, I don't want to say Hollywood like, but I feel like he's looking at something where he's dreaming. It's like when a hope is deferred. Okay, the words that's above it. Okay, it looked like an H. It looked like an E. Whatever it's called, right? I know, like it might be someone's name or some type of encryption, but yeah, he looked like, man, he's been going through it. Um, Now, of course, according to the article, they said that he died over a drug overdose.
Mm.
Hmm.
So maybe at that moment he's probably resembling, hey, look, this is what it's doing to me. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling depressed. Maybe he was like, on drugs. I'm not talking about like on drugs where he did the painting, but in this image, he's trying to predict, like, hey, like, you know, he's going through so much, he has to take drugs or whatever to kind of numb the pain. You can see he's missing teeth and all that. Like I said, let me
Yeah.
stop because I could go on and on about this.
Yeah. I see. I see. The raw emotion of man. You know what I mean? Just completely raw, out in the open. You know what I mean? Just who we are. Kind of what we were before. Like you know, we were like colonized, and we were kind of just like stripped of all that culture. Like I just feel like that's just the bare emotion of just who we are. Almost animalistic in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
it's like he's just showing like just all of his pure emotion, and just he's just moving in a vibration. That isn't, and it's not that it's a bad thing. I think that a lot of times it has been broadcasted as something bad, right? Like, oh, um, when we show that raw emotion and we show that raw essence of who we are, it's always like, oh, you're bad or you're evil or all these stereotypes are thrown out there, right? Or it's stupid or um, we're like cavemen or we're like lower than the regular human being, but it's not that. It's the fact that we're expressing our raw emotion and we're expressing who we are and we connecting back to our essence of
Mm-hmm.
what we were. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So You know what I mean? And and also the fact that like he's showing his teeth, like he letting it be shown, like I'm showing you like who I am completely. I'm not hiding it. I don't care if they're a little bit beat up. You know what I mean? Like they not it's not glamorous or whatever, but this is who I am. Like,
Mhm.
and that's just what it is, and I'm not hiding from it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I like that. I like both of y'all's view of it. So so you see where it's like the beige and stuff, and then at the bottom in the corner it's like a black and then gray, and you see that? Yes, right there. That looks like a body to me. So it looks like they're going like that. Like what? Like, are you serious? Like, what are you thinking? But it also looks like it's not stitches as much as it is a countdown, like a you're you have to mark the days. You're marking how long you've been here. You're marking like every single day of the struggle, the days in jail, the days locked up. So to me also, like in the head, how you said like the window part, it's in the back of his head. You see that a little bit more clear. There is more light, there's more color, there's more white clarity to it. And then it starts like another box above in front of that is like in the middle of the head. That looks a little bit more flustered and cluttered, and we don't see that much blue anymore. We don't see that much light. It's getting more, secluded, and there's not even a lot of stuff. There's only like a little bit of the yellow and stuff, and then it goes to completely into another box, and it's completely black with a little window. To me, where to that is like where the ojo is. So it's like, you have a little window of light in your soul, but you really don't. So it's like all blacked out. You're To me, when like him putting dark in the front, it was like where his mind was in a dark state. Even if he had that in the back of his head where he had the clarity and the openness, like to him it was like a what, like a are you not seeing my sadness? Are you not experiencing the days of the countdown of this misery? Are you not, like, do you not see it all in my face? Do you not see the pain? All the red and the black in the eyes. That's completely different. Like, you might see pain and hurt, and you might see, like, pain and hurt, but from an anger state, not in a sorrow, broken, down and out kind of space. I see so many things in this one. I really like his because I like to explore the whole piece overall, what they might have felt, what I feel when I'm painting something. And when it gets down to the details is where it actually is in my mind for me. Because I told a lot of people different things in my paintings that I put. Like, I always put little dots somewhere. So it'll be like all neat and everything, and there'll be like a dot, just like one dot. And or there'll be like a couple of dots and stuff. Those things mean things to me, but people don't look at it like that. They're just like, oh, that's cute. There's like, a dot, or, whatever. It's just like, it looks like a whole thing for them. But to me, that don't mean something. It means like a
Mm.
specific thing. So for me, it's just like thinking about what those lines could have meant to him, because he puts them a lot. He does lines all over the place. He does a little check off thing, like where he's just marking it. So he's a very he was a very good artist, and inspired a lot of different people from so many different ways, because he kind of brought the culture, like you said, and our in so many different levels to from so many different cultures. Like, he brought that out where it's just that we're able to express it to another level, and it's not looked at
Hmm.
it at like trash or whatever. It's looked at as actual art in the big names and stuff, and it's not just them anymore. It's just all of us
And
included.
as you see, if you look at it, right, he's showing you all of his experiences, right?
Yeah.
And he's wearing it as a badge of honor. Like he's not hiding,
Yep.
And if you look at his eyes are focused. He's not looking down. He's not looking like distracted. He is focused and he's pressing on. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And he's wearing all of his experiences and pressing on. He's in, he's giving you the raw him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he, like I said, and the fact that he's showing his teeth is he's being brazen about it. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm gonna show my teeth. I'm gonna show everything. You
He
know what I mean?
does
I'm
it
gonna
in
show you
all
who
the
I true am.
Yeah. And that means something. Like it honestly means something whenever you're showing a certain part of you, because if you're looking at him and his pictures, there's hardly any with him showing his teeth. Have
Hmm.
you noticed that? Because the
Yeah,
ones I'm
I have.
looking at right now, like he's not showing his teeth, but he is. Well, there's one of him smiling right there, but he is mostly only showing that, like, his true self through his art. Everything is there. There's so much expression. There's times where you could kind of see, like in that this picture that we're looking at, I could kind of feel like there was a crown at some point on there, but then he blacked it out. So to me, like,
Mm.
he knew he was a king. He knew his level of majesty, but he just like, expressed it in a different way. But he never like. I think in every piece he showed out all the way. There's no way where one of every piece means something to someone in some way. So he put his whole soul in it. You could tell. Yeah, he's bomb. Now I'm not looking at his stuff.
Oh, you muted him, three. You muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Hmm.
One last thing I want to point out. If you notice the left side of the area where it's dark, I
Yeah.
see two eyes. You know, and maybe that's
Oh,
probably
I
where he
see that.
starts searching while he's in that dark place, looking for some light.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight work. I love that. I love pieces that are like that. In my pieces, if you guys like, when I'm painting, I flip them all the time. So I'll paint something in a certain direction, and then
Hmm.
I'll flip it and paint something else. So like, you'll see, you kind of just get to scavenger hunt for things too on there. Like just to see what you're looking for. Just you might see something that I really didn't put on there, but you see it. So that's like your perspective of it. But I really enjoy any kind of artist that does this like this, where it's just not like a structured certain type of thing. You're just kind of roaming wild.
Hmm.
That's my favorite.
Azul, like, do you have like any paintings that you could kind of show to us, like like on screen, if you don't mind?
um, maybe no, I don't. Wait, hold on. Let me give me a sec, y'all.
No problem. While you're doing that, we're going to just take a quick intermission. It's only going to last for 1 minute. So, all right. Let's go ahead and have like a good intermission so we can show people how to subscribe, how to hit the like button, the notification button as well too, and also leave comments after the live stream. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, okay, and watching our friendly intermission. All right, so now we're back with Azul Bella and with Mr. Intellectual Soapbox. All right.
All right. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you three because they're very different. Okay. So this is
Oh,
one
okay.
painted on my show. I painted it. I started it by myself
Hmm.
at a park when I was like meditating, and I was just like in my own vibe and trying to ground
Hmm.
myself and stuff. And then um, I thought about this heart that I wanted to do on it, and I started to paint it on my show. And then eventually I finished it at this live event that we had. It turned out to be amazing, but this is it, and then I'll give you guys some backstory on it.
Okay, so Azul, do you mind if I zoom you in? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I see like the blue heart, the signature Azul, and then I see like the red, well, the tree growing up from it. Now, it looked like that's blood spewing out, or maybe those are supposed to be leaves, but that's what I see.
Here, this,
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. So that's roses. It was done with
Roses.
roses, but it's kind of
Okay.
like it's just kind of like the background. I just chose to do it with that. So with this, we're all kind of rooted from the heart. Like everything is just kind of like that's the place that I guess where everything is flowing through.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, everything connects back to there. So let me put it down. It really sorry, it was heavy. It really is kind of more of a I brought it when I was painting it, everyone that was involved and stuff in it a little bit that inspired me. It was giving me a lot of very like intimate things from the heart. They really were talking about things that either they went through, they had to deal through, like really work on it and be able to grow and stuff like that. And to me, my heart is probably the strongest thing that I have because overall, I care a lot, so I have to be very strong on my feelings because I know that everybody's heart isn't like mine. So whenever I'm out here, just if I'm the example of love and which I call myself, like if anybody feels my love, they're gonna know it's real because I am love. I'm not jealousy. I'm not prideful. I'm not like ego driven. I'm not those things. I'm love. So you're gonna experience love from me. So whenever I was thinking about that, I was thinking about how much my heart really goes through different things and the things that they were going through. And then when my friend told me about the show, the live event, I was like, "Ooh, I know the perfect piece, and I'm gonna finish it there. So I'm gonna root it. I'm gonna root it down." And that show has things to do with the root, like us being rooted and stuff. And it was really lit because everyone that was went up to perform when I was doing the root, um it meant something on what they were doing, what they were performing, who they were, what they were saying, like those things. It I could reflect with it. I could really kind of
Mm-hmm.
understand. And it moved me to where I was just like, well, those things have so much to do with each other because um, I'm out here and I'm expressing my love to people and I'm like sharing it with others, but it's not always gonna take be taken the way that I want it to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to always be rooted with myself, be rooted with my ancestors, be rooted with my culture, with who I am and who I want to be and who I want my generate my bloodline to be,
Yeah,
who.
generation. Yeah.
Yes, so everyone that's involved that is coming from me or is going to be inspired by me, I want them to be kind of in the same
Mm.
example where you're going to always be rooted to yourself. You're always going to be rooted to your own feelings and what you think and what you believe. And, like just kind of bring it back to yourself because without you, there's no one. Like, without you, this
Right.
creativity wouldn't be happening. Like Miss Intellectual said, like it's me who's out here and there's no one else like me. So with
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that, it's like everyone needs to I would want people to kind of get that from me where it's just like you're getting the part of me that is like the true me. You're getting the raw exposed me. And that's kind of why I did that too, where it's like first it was the hearts that I did. I mean the path. This is kind of like a path, right? The different pinks. I mean the pink and the red. But
Uh
then I
huh.
did the heart and then I did the tree on top of the heart and then I brought the heart back out because it's intertwined with each other. It's together. Um, it's one, so it's just like it's not in front of it or behind it. It's just together.
So as you're explaining things, like like what goes behind the scenes, the thoughts of your artwork, you're at now you're it's kind of like you're resensitizing my thinking about it, my perspective. Because now I'm like when I hear well, first thing when I heard love, okay, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe when she was thinking about love, okay, that's where the rose petals start blossoming in, okay. When you start talking about generations, your bloodline, okay, like that's where it's like, okay, the tree that's rooted, but your ancestors, it's like your ancestors are like the roots that's grounded, and
Yeah.
then what comes out is the generations. But ultimately, it becomes your heart. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? It becomes
It's
you,
you.
and then the heart, the blue heart, okay, it's Azul's heart, right?
Yeah.
You know, is deeply rooted and connected spiritually within the tree itself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
I might be
No,
talking too much. I might be getting too deep or whatever. But look,
I like it. I like it a
yeah,
lot. I like that. I actually want to do with this piece is just like I want to do others around it where it's like the other parts of it. So like here,
mm-hmm,
I would do another canvas, but it would be the rest of the tree and just like a different perspective of this picture. Where this is
mm-hmm,
just like one little, pixel of the whole
mm-hmm,
image, kind of like
yeah,
that. I want to do that with this piece. So this is the first one, and I eventually want to do more to it because I feel like this is not where the me stops, and this is definitely not where it started. So
mm-hmm.
I want to show a different view, but I like your perspective of it. I like that a lot. So this is another one. This is kind of just, and I kind of just noticed that I messed it up a little bit, but this is like
Oh,
more.
yeah. uh, okay. So I see the blue flowers. Okay, blue and green. I see a window behind it. Okay, but like I said, that's just me with my little theories or whatever. Um, so what else? Okay, this is gonna sound silly, but this was going on through my mind. Okay, I see
Sorry.
for
What kind
whatever reason, I'm because of the green colors. It reminds me of Brussels sprouts. I know I'm totally off right now.
of?
Okay, super off. But what I'm seeing is like, okay, little, like at least one of them look like a little Brussels sprout. Okay, the other rest is like, okay, standard blue petals. The green part, I'm trying to differentiate. I can't really articulate it right now, but I just see like the window behind it, and I feel like there's something
Where do
symbolic
you see
about
the
that.
window right here, like this?
Yeah. You see, like there's a
Okay.
line and then there's a T shape.
Uh huh.
So, like I said, I know I'm totally off or whatever. So let me go ahead and play this right quick because that's just MC's like little conspiracy theory or whatever. But what I'm thinking is that like you have something going on where maybe it could be. Hmm. Let me take one little educated guess, right? Or maybe not so educated. Whenever I see plants and I see a window, I'm seeing someone that's looking out from within. But I know I'm totally off, so that's why I'm laughing to myself. It's almost like, okay, if it was white, I would thought like totally something different. I'd be like, man, maybe there's a wedding that's going on, but the person that's looking is not getting married. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't really I can't really like decipher it.
Mm. For me, it looks like it looks like it looks like a place within the tropics. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And in the tropics, you have so many different
Hmm.
colors and variations of colors of flowers and everything else. It's not like here in the states where like you just kind of get just regular greenery and that's about it. But if you're in the tropics or you're in the Caribbean, you know what I mean, you're gonna get so many different shades, so many different colors, so many different variation of flowers, and it feels like I'm walking through those areas. You know what I mean? And I'm experiencing all of that coming in, and just the very because you can see the green background. It's like kind of like it's a variation. It's like I'm walking through, as I'm going through those areas,
Mm-hmm.
and what I mean, I'm seeing all different colors, all the different shades, all different variations, and I can feel like the life of it. Like I feel like I feel the warmness of it. I feel like I'm in the warm, right? I feel like it's hot.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, and I can just feel like that whole warm embrace of being within those elements. You know what I mean? So that's what I get from it.
Okay, I love you guys already because you guys give like really good opinions, like your perspective of it. So it's kind of both because I painted this in Dallas during the winter. So I was looking out from inside, from like, I was mad. It was so cold and everything. And, you guys, I grew up in Florida and Cali too, but like my older years were in Florida and stuff. And it is very tropical there. I did want it to be in the warmth, and I love the colors and all that stuff. So it's roses and like different flowers and stuff like that with the greenery. I love the greenery because overall I just, if I could be somewhere where it's just like full of green, it just trees of all sorts and plants and all that stuff, that would be like heaven for me. um so that is always definitely a place where I want to be. It's like my happy place, like the beach and stuff. In Miami, there's this spot close to one of my friend's house where we always kind of go to the beach and stuff when I go home to visit. And they have those aisles where it's just like to walk in, but it's just like it's the gates are all green, so they have only leaves and stuff, and then all you see falling down is the trees like this, like they just like the branches and stuff with the flowers and all that stuff. So it's kind of the vibe. Like I love walking through that spot like that because it makes me feel like the Secret Garden. Did you guys ever watch that movie when you were little, the Secret Garden?
I've heard of the song Secret
Yeah.
Garden, but
Okay,
I've never
well,
seen
it's
the
more
movie.
white people-ish, so I would understand if you didn't. But it's kind of like that, like it's really like a secret garden in my head because I
Mm.
love the greenery. I love to be able to just go somewhere and it just be like a sanctuary of peace and
Serenity.
Marion.
Oh,
My bad.
okay.
That was me. I was getting
I was like, when you said peace, I thought you was giving us the peace out for a
no,
minute.
no,
Nah,
no.
nah, you get. I'm messing with
But like I really do look for peace and all that stuff, even if I look for that in my mind, because honestly, you kind of have to do that, especially if you have to be out there on the scene all the time. And I'm an ambivert, which is like both extrovert and introvert, but I rather
you.
just, if I'm gonna be out, it needs to be like VIP stuff where it's just like not a lot of people are around me because it's just too much. I just want to, I want to be around the people that I know. I don't like people touching me and all that stuff. So it's just like for me in my head, I have to find places like this where it's just like I'm cool, even though I'm not here. I'm still, I'm finding my happy place. I could be here for another 2 hours. We could make it through, we could get through all of this stuff or whatever. So I love to
Mhm.
find the happy places in my head where I could go to and it feels like, that vibe where we're just relaxing and stuff and enjoying the tropical peace.
Okay, let me ask you this question, right? Before I ask you like about your painting.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when you say like I don't like nobody touching me or whatever, right? What is your love language? Because now that kind of I'm kind of curious about that. Are you
All of
more
them.
like a quad? All of them?
No, all of them. I feel like within love, like, so if I love somebody, man, they're gonna be love. Like love you never
Okay.
experienced before, right? So I feel like if I love you to that extent, why do I wouldn't I want to show you love from like, all the perspectives of love? Like maybe you don't
Okay.
know physical touch like that. Maybe you don't know words of affirmation like that. Maybe I'm the
Mhm.
one that's going to show you that. Maybe maybe you showed me that type of thing. So I feel
Mhm.
like we can't or we shouldn't just like put it to one thing, because then that's the only kind of love you're going to accept, and that's the only kind of love you're going to maybe feel natural in or comfortable in. So I think all of them, but uh
Well, the
quality
reason why,
time, sure.
yeah. Well, the
And
reason why like I ask is because like when you're into like your personal space, like once you're in like creativity mode, does that kind of even if you have all because I know it was like five love languages, all five like languages, right, of
there's
love.
more than that, but those are the ones that are like,
The top tier ones, the one that's mostly like commonly talked about.
yes.
Does that deter you, right, from your love languages? Like once you're in that state of mind, you know, does that kind of push you away? In other words.
No, I feel like people, I think it pushes people away because it's like, how come you just don't know boundaries? You know, like if
Mm-hmm.
you're my person or if you're someone that I already know, you could touch me. You know, you're allowed. Like you already know the part that you play in my life and the things that you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. But like if you want me to not have a boundary on physical touch just because you're there already and I'm not, that's weird to me. You know, like why must you touch me to build something with me, you know? So with me it's just like I just don't like strangers touching me. If you're my people's, I definitely want to hug. I definitely want to, like, hold
Mm-hmm.
hands. I'll hold hands with my girlfriends. Like, I'll hold hands with my friends. If I'm like just platonic friends, I'll like grab onto my friend's arm. Like, half of my friends are always normally bigger than me and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll hold on to them. They know that I like that protection, that love, that physical touch. But like, I don't want you to sexualize me. That's the difference. People don't
Yeah.
know
Mm-hmm.
that there's physical touch that does not require to be sexualized, and I think that often people sexualize it, which is very weird to me.
Yeah, no, no, and I definitely understand because, like, when I talk about like as far as like physical touch, it's more like in a non-sexualized, like type of way. Like some people actually feel good when someone is putting a hand on their shoulder
Yeah, it's
or
just
just
like,
rubbing their back. It's
yeah.
just like sometimes people need that, you
They
know. 'Cause,
do, they do. Human beings need that for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like not a lot of people get hugged in this world now these days. So
They don't. They don't. People get mad at us for being happy. So I think when we're able to express love in ways that it just isn't like sexual involved, I think is way better. So I mean,
mhm.
I don't mind physical touch because I really like it and it is one of the things that I really one of my top ones. But it definitely requires specific type of people, and maybe I'm just not in the mood every day. Like maybe my spirit doesn't feel easy, so I don't want you to touch me because I'm not in the my like right state for you to touch my spirit. Because I'm not religious to the sense of like believe, I'm not Christian and none of that stuff, right? But like I understand that religions all have that if you touch someone that isn't like good with God or whatever, that evilness would come to you, right? So all kind of religions have that thing
Mm,
where it's
Yeah.
like physical touch is a big factor on what kind of energy you're passing on to someone or what they're giving you. So half of the time, or maybe not even half of the time, but like some of the time where I don't want people to touch me is not always because I don't want their bad vibes. It's because maybe I'm not the happiest that day. Maybe I'm mentally going through a private situation that maybe it could have been trauma that I'm like working through. Maybe
Mm,
I finally got through my healing stage in my own life individually, privately, where I'm just like, I'm finally healing through this one traumatic situation. And maybe that is too much for someone else that is wanting a hug from me or whatever. And like, just like today is not the day, don't touch me today. It's not about you always, it's about me sometimes. Because what if I do touch you and then you have the worst 3 months of your life for the next 3 months? What if you just want a hug or you want me to, be all like, hey, whatever. What if that happens and then, I transfer over my traumatic situation to you in some kind of way, or it opens up that thing for you where you might not be able to handle that thing in your own life at that moment. Maybe you're not
I,
healed enough to do so.
I think that and definitely Marcus, we're gonna get to your question because Marcus has a question that's that's full of humor, and I'm definitely gonna ask that question for him because I love when he asks this question. It's so funny.
yeah.
Um, but I think with us, I think due to us being conditioned and us being kind of us being told different things, right,
Hmm.
about what love is and what it isn't, right? I feel like, and I always say this, I feel like in relationships, period, especially here in America, we just need to destroy and rebuild. We just need to
Hmm.
destroy everything that's here and rebuild from scratch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? 'Cause I just feel like we don't know what we're doing. Like, and I think that's just clear. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that if we just stop putting bad stigmas on love and on just having connections with people, what I mean, and it'll make things a lot easier because you
Yeah.
know all of there's nothing wrong with any of those things, right? There's nothing wrong with intimacy, right? I'm not even gonna call it sex. I'm just calling it intimacy because I feel like that's what it truly is, right?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with intimacy. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, but I think what has happened is the fact that we have been conditioned to be fearful, right? And based on that, it limits us, from actually really expressing things that need to be expressed. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to just walk up to anybody and just give them a hug. We should be able to walk up to anybody and express a form of intimacy with them and it not be any type of negative connotation. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But because, we've been so conditioned, you know, and when you're conditioned, that's when you're gonna experience trauma. That's when you're gonna experience all these different things because, you know, you're being told, oh no, this is bad or this is wrong or this or this is that. You know what I mean? And it's not and there's really nothing wrong with anything that you're feeling. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You're feeling your basic natural human instincts to
Mhm.
connect with somebody else,
Yeah.
right? And it should be across the board. You know what I mean? Of course, yes, there are common sense things that you just are not going to do. There's common sense things that you should not be venturing off into. You know what I mean? When it comes to just just common sense things. You know what I mean? When it comes to basically assaulting someone or doing something that that's going to cause harm or trauma. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, and especially stuff with kids, things of that nature. We already know that's kind of off the board, right? And if
Yeah.
you're really walking in love, you're not going to do that anyway. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Because you're walking in love. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Now, if you're walking in perversion, then of course your mind and your actions and your aspects are going to venture off into that. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? But that also comes from being traumatized and being conditioned as well. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Because that's not your natural instinct. When you're born as a baby, right? You want everybody to touch you as a baby. You know what I mean? You want babies will go to literally anybody. You know what I mean?
Unless you have
They're
bad vibes, then you get the crying.
yeah. Yeah. But babies they are just you know they take everything in, right? They're impressionable, right?
Yes.
When you're young, you're impressionable, right? And your receptors are open to everything. You're taking in everything because you don't know anything,
Mhm.
right? So you know, as a baby, when somebody automatically shows you love, they could be the most worst person in the world. They could have did something crazy like 2 minutes ago. Now they come up with a baby and they giving the baby a hug and they showing that baby love because it's a baby. The baby don't even know this person is probably crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or they
Mhm.
maybe have done something egregious. They don't even know that,
Yeah.
right? They just feel that love in that moment.
Mhm.
So I think that's the thing. Like, if we can get back to that, and even the good word says, like, in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, like, you have to come in as a child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to come in your natural element. I think that people, are no longer in their natural elements, and so that's why, we have so much confusion, and that's why relationships are so hard. You know what I mean? Because we're no longer in our natural element. We are basically, like I said, we basically have been taught that, oh no, if I give a hug, it's bad, or what I mean, oh no, you can't talk about that, or you're a man, you can't cry. You know what I mean? If you cry, then you're
Wow.
weak. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If you're a woman, no, you can't express yourself as a woman. You gotta be quiet. You know, and it's like no, like let everybody express what they feel and who they are. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And give the full them so they can add to our experience in this world. You know what I mean? So they could bring life and love and freedom to us and to who we are. So I think that's what needs to happen. Did you want to respond, Azul, to anything that we said before I get to Marcus' question?
No, no, I completely agree. I really do think that it is yeah, where if we remove ourselves from what we were taught and we just kind of go with our own feelings and just kind of explore where we really came from, like our actual roots, where we are from, and what our ancestors lived through before anything, that horrible stuff that happened to us and stuff like that, in so many different levels and so many different cultures by the colonizers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If we really go back and look, all the things that we kind of just follow or believe in some kind of way or were taught is not the same what they did. You know, we weren't reading the same stuff, we weren't eating the same stuff, we were completely at
Mm-hmm.
a different level of things. And if we go back to that, or we just kind of like go towards that level, we really will open up and see things, see life as
Mm-hmm.
children, and that like really elevates us to another dimension of things, to be honest with you. Like from my beliefs, I think it's a lot of growth that comes from that.
Yeah, it opens you up completely as a person, right? You know, some people call it the third eye. Some people have different terminology for it.
Yes,
So it
yes.
opens you up as a person,
Hmm.
and you know, because everything that you've been given, your clothing, your food, everything that's been given has been thrown onto you. You know, it's been
Yes.
indoctrinated to you. It's been forced to you. It's not
Yeah.
something that's in your natural element. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's when you see people, and sometimes they may wear looser clothing, or they may wear clothing where they're showing certain parts of themselves or whatever. If you look at a lot of ethnic culture, a lot of African culture, a lot of times that's how we walked around. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We didn't have all these layers and textures and sweaters and all. We didn't have none of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? One, it was too
Well,
hot.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you live in a naturally hot climate, you ain't gonna be wearing a moccasin sweater. Like that's not gonna happen. You'll
Yeah.
die. You know what I mean? So we're used to wearing vibrant colors. We're used to wearing more looser clothing. That's just a part of just who we are. Shout out to the blue shirt for M3. But also I want to give a shout out to Unicorn Word. Unicorn, what's going on, family? Good to see you.
You gotta
You know
give
what I
an
mean?
air horn
Salute
for
to
that.
you. Yeah. Salute to Just a Splash, aka Lady Sophia. Lady Sophia, good to see
Hi.
you. You know what I mean? Also, shout out to Harris Tribe Media Group, Mr. and
So
Mrs.
family.
He said. You know what I mean? The dopest married couple on YouTube. Shout out to them. Shout out to the whole Harris Tribe Media Group and the Harris Tribe Media family. So I'm gonna get to Marcus' question because he's been waiting here for a minute. So
Mm-hmm.
Marcus' question is, you know what I mean? Um, what's your favorite? What's your favorite sandwich to cook? So you talking about cooking sandwiches? So when it's over to see it.
That's hilarious. Well, you
The
might not
cooking,
like
the,
me
cook,
anymore,
the cooking
Marcus.
sandwich thing, just to give you some background on it, Lady Azul, the cooking sandwich thing is a joke that we have. You know what I mean? Because like you, in actuality, you can't really cook a sandwich. You could warm it up,
Well,
Oh,
or you can kind of like, I guess you can like heat a sandwich, but actually cooking a sandwich is kind of, I've never heard of somebody say I cooked a sandwich, so it's kind of a funny terminology that we have with each other. It's an inside joke, but yeah, Marcus is always asking a question, so yeah.
where's Marcus from? Because if you're Cuban or you were in Miami at some point, you cooked them Cuban sandwiches. So I don't know
oh,
about that.
wait a minute. Okay, hold on for a second,
Marcus, if
Mister.
you're here,
Yeah,
Marcus, you know what I
send.
mean. Let us know, and we should we bring him up so he can act this? I would love for him to be
Yeah,
live and direct and
yeah.
acting.
I want to send him the link right now because I want to hear from Marcus, man, because I think this is going to be more funnier.
Yeah,
Actually, we could open up to the panel, like to like the people like in the public, because I know we're almost out of time.
yeah.
We're
Lady
already
Azul, are you open to that? Do you want people to come up?
Yeah, yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
okay. So I got you right here. Let's see. All right, fam. So feel free to join up. Perfect timing for the sound effect.
I know you've been going in with the sound effects. You tripped me out with the X Files one. That it took me out for a second.
That's what I do, you know? Okay, let me see. Let me make sure I pin this to the top. Also, well, before I replace the pin, make sure when you guys look at the pin that's on top of the YouTube chat, make sure that you subscribe to. Oh, actually, can I? I'm so way off. Make sure you subscribe to Azul Bella's like YouTube channel. You can also follow her on her IG as well too. I don't know if I could share the link, but basically is Bella. Well, it was spelled like Bella, and then it's underscore underscore, right?
Three of
Oh shoot, okay.
them.
So let me do this.
And then basically everything is just my name, you guys. You just have to look for my name on things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me go ahead and put it up here. So remember, it's Bella Azul, but it has three underscores.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like underscore, oops, underscore, and underscore. So just so nobody won't get confused, three underscores. Okay, between Bella and Azul. Okay, and man, I guess Marcus is not here, right? Because he haven't came up. But anybody else, feel free to come up. We will be closing out pretty soon because we are at the 2 hour and we're almost at the 2 hour 30 minute mark. So, but Harrison Tribe Media says, I have one question. In your opinion, my sister, what do you believe is the reason black men are attracted to other women attracted to women of other ethnicities?
So that question is very I don't know. I think it's always been really it's very opinion based, right? Where through my experiences and through other things, I think where I've heard, I think in the culture overall, how America has wanted to portray women overall, not just black women, but women overall. But especially in this question, how they have wanted black women to be portrayed is totally off base. Like they don't want you to be with your race because they're really trying to lock up your race, your men. Like they're trying to lock them up. They're trying to still keep both. I feel black men and Hispanic Latino men. They're trying to keep them down. So then we as our race don't progress, our ethnicity don't progress because they know how strong we are. Both black men, black women, Latino men, Latina women, like they know that they are, so they kind of try to like portray us in a certain way. I think that overall, the way that they make it seem is that they make it seem like Latino women could be spicy. We could be feisty. We could, talk back and all this other stuff. And it's okay because it's attractive and it's like, sassy and all that stuff. Black women aren't allowed to do that. When you do that, you're complaining, you're talking crap, you're nagging, you're doing all this other stuff. Where I think if we, as the people that are actually in these cultures, look at it as in we're just human beings, we're just falling in love who we want to fall in love with because of our who we are, it would be looked at different. But we're so far from that because of everything that we've gone through, where we are able to just kind of really analyze and look at ourselves and be like, it's not really that. They're just making us think that it's that because that's where they want us to that's where they want to see us. They want to see us fighting against each other. They want to see us like, if it's you're better than I or I'm better than you, it's not always just like, we could just coexist. It's always let's pin things to each other. But honestly, I've dated a lot of black men. I've dated Latino guys as well. I feel that I don't really look at it in that range, where I'm like, I only want to date black men, or I only want to date Latinos, or I only want to date, people of other ethnicities. It's not like that for me because overall love is love. But I do see the struggles that come with dating different people of your cultures, and dating different people of just like mental levels, like mentally educated levels, as well as emotional and like history and all that stuff. Like if you really, if a black man always ever tries to approach me and they're like talking so much crap about the women, nah, you done. Because there's no way that you could love me in the way that you're gonna make a scene where you can't even love your ancestors, because everybody that you came from is
Mm-hmm.
that that person that you're talking shit about. Like, you cannot be with me and
Mm.
expect me to believe you. that you're going to be so about me, but then you're bringing down your people. There's no way. I mean, in my mentality and like Mexican culture, there's this saying that it says, it's by really famous, is that I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Basically, I'm not getting off my pedestal for anyone. You know, my pride and my belief, my person is, it's everything, and I'm gonna die for me. So like, if you're going against your own ethnicity, to me that's like the biggest red flag ever. And I don't even want to be associated with you. I don't even want somebody to see me with you, because I don't want your thoughts to be brought on to me like that. So I don't know. I get bad vibes from that all the time when people are like,
Yeah.
they make it a thing. To me, it's like I hate it. But
Before,
overall,
yeah, before I
overall,
get to Marcus, I, my last reply to that, like Azul, is I'm all for like interracial relationships.
mhm.
Um, I'm all for like people want to fall in love with a person that they don't see the color. If you could just bypass the color of the person's skin and you enjoy spending time with that person, you love that person for who she or he is, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
But you know, but I do agree with you on that part. The problem is that when you're talking bad about your own people to someone else that is not yours, that to me makes you look like a goofy, and
man, it's
and
fun.
it really makes you look bad. I'll tell you this quick story, um, and this is how you can kind of tell when a person how he treats his own people by how he treats his parents.
Mm,
So there's a person, he was in a relationship with a Hispanic woman, and he's black, but he knows the language. He speaks the language. Now they're having dinner with his parents. His parents is black, but he's having Spanish conversations in front of his parents that they don't even understand the language. So his
that's
parents
no. That's a no go.
and his girl's like, hey, like like I don't feel comfortable speaking my own language in front of your parents. Now I understand that was someone else, whoever, friends, whatever. You do whatever y'all want to do, but when you're with like people, especially like your parents, and they don't understand the language that you're speaking, and you have your own conversation in front of them, and your reply to that woman is like, well, I don't care what they don't know. Like they should learn the language.
No.
I was like,
Yeah.
that to me is like where people really like mess themselves up. But long story short, she around leaving with him for someone else or whatever who got more money. So it,
As she
it's
should. Anyways,
That's
well, I
that.
agree with that.
That's
I
why
really
they got to work on making sandwiches. It's a good icebreaker. That's it.
the sandwich cooker.
I will
That's
say
it.
this though. I will say this. I think that, and Lady Azul, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off if I
No, you're
did.
good.
I just want to say this. I think that um, when people have that perception and they approach it in that way, a lot of times it's from a lot of trauma,
Yeah.
right? They've gone through things within their own race, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with that." So
Hmm.
they start labeling people and they start stigmatizing people, and so you hear the term "angry black man" or "angry
Yeah.
black woman." You know what I mean? And this will be from a black man himself. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they're like, "Oh, you know how those black women, they're always angry, the angry black woman." And it's like, okay, so what happened to you in your life that now you're demonizing every woman who is black? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you had a bad experience. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And you the thing is you just have to take that bad experience as that experience. That is not that experience is not every person in totality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think we have to really start seeing that and really start realizing that and not grouping everybody together just based
Mm-hmm.
on one experience. So yeah.
Yes, for sure. And it really requires a lot of growth, to be honest with you, because
Hmm.
if you're not willing to just grow overall on your thoughts, and like, we all have those older people that taught us toxic things, because we all
Hmm.
have them. We have that one uncle that's like mad messy with stuff, and don't care,
Hmm.
just says everything they want. It doesn't matter if there's kids
Hmm.
around or not. they teach the
Mm-hmm.
boys like, stupid stuff or whatever. We have those tias or on set just like, wilding out, or they don't respect certain things, or, just different versions of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all have, we all have some kind of drama in our families in some kind of way, but like we all learn different things. But if we're not able to pull ourselves to separate from that, like from actually knowing what was not for me, even though it was taught to me, and what is for me because I researched it and I was able to want to evolve myself in that manner, then it's different. Because I don't know. I cannot look at somebody that is going to just want to talk crap about something but not want to make it better for themselves. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
weird to me. Because why are you gonna talk crap then? You might like it because you're staying in it. So why talk crap about it if this is
Mm-hmm.
the view that you want to see? Because if it's not the view I want to see, I'm gonna move around. I don't care what's going on. I don't care who's there. I don't care who's
Mm-hmm.
involved. It's not
Exactly.
working for me, and I
Mm-hmm.
have to move around. But
Mm-hmm.
So I
Real
want
quick,
to welcome. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
sorry, real quick, intellectual soapbox. I gotta give a shout outs to Midlife for the $5 Cash App donation. So thank you for donating $5. We
Hey,
definitely appreciate you for doing that.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I
mhm.
want to welcome Marcus to the panel, aka Sandwich Cooker. Marcus, Marcus, I want you to build on your perspective on sandwiches. So yeah,
Really,
go ahead.
really
I
quick,
got
did
you.
you just change your name to that, or did you already have that like that?
I just
No,
changed it. It's my thing. When I jump into panels, I just go with the flow and a joke or something. Comedic relief. Yeah.
we
Nothing but
all
love
need
and
that.
respect. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what did your question mean?
Um, because sometimes Mr. and Social Soapbox or M3 might question my methods on how to cook a sandwich. Um, uh, what is your quote? Oh, first of all, nice to meet you. Thank you.
So,
Welcome.
hola.
And much respect to you, Azul Bea.
Yeah.
But I want to know, how do you make a sandwich, or do you cook it on the grill or an oven, or slash torta?
I knew you were gonna say torta because you had that Mexican flag up there. Shout out.
Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. Oh shit, avocado.
But okay, so my question would be, I would have a follow up question. It really depends. Like, how hungry are you? Like, what kind of it? You just can't. I don't know. What if you approach someone with like a whack regular sandwich, and not bring them the Cuban sandwich where you toast it and you get all the goodness and stuff? Or what if you bake it and then you put the other stuff? It just depends. It depends on the vibe. I know how to
What's
cook from
what's
scratch.
your go-to sandwich you would make if you had guests over, and how would
Guess?
you cook it?
Okay, guess. That's a different story.
Hmm.
What kind of guests? Are they Mexican or are they more Caribbean?
Oh,
Any in general, in general.
I know. I can't do in general. I need a like a vibe of the people that are gonna be there so I can
see,
Okay,
make
let me.
now you make me
My
want
All
to
right.
ask this
palate.
question. Yeah.
I go off of people's palates. So it's not about
Yeah.
me. It's about what your palates are. Because I know
My
how to
palate.
cook.
You have to do a mix of both for me because I've grown up, on both. I've grown up like in a lot of different areas. So I grew up in the South. You know what I mean? I was on the East Coast and I've been in the West Coast. So um my palate is so wide range, right? So I've eaten traditional Southern food and I've eaten Caribbean food. I've eaten different forms of food from, our different cultures, right? So
Hmm.
I may do rice and beans but the rice and beans may be done in a style that is done from our people in Mexico, right? But then
Hmm.
if I do rice and beans and I do it
Hmm.
you know,
In Puerto
excuse
Rico,
me,
arroz y
I do Puerto
habichuelas.
Rican,
Yep.
yeah, or Dominican or Peruvian, right? It's
Mm.
going to be different. It's
Yep.
not going to be the same rice and beans,
Yep.
right? Or I can do jollof rice from
Ooh.
Haitian culture. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Mm.
So it can be different. So with
We're
me,
all
if
getting hungry
you did all
now.
three, if you did all of them, I'm good. I'm good if you
Okay.
do all of them.
So I'm gonna hit you with all of them right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know what guisado is?
Yes.
You know what guisado?
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
M3, do you know what guisado is?
No.
It's a kind of like a stew. So typically it's done with chicken and like bell
Pollo
peppers. Like,
gusado. Yeah.
yeah, pollo guisado is like it's a red saucy sauce, so you put tomato base and all that stuff. But so I would do. Oh, do you guys know what birria tacos are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the
Okay.
one you
It
dip.
tends
You
to
You
be
are
the
have the
sounds
trend
sauce
good.
and you
lately.
dip it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why she likes.
It's a big fad right now. Everybody's into those right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a big thing. But okay, so I'm vegan, but I'm not gonna give you guys the vegan version because I know you guys are all being fat off of this conversation right now.
Oh.
So, so So okay, I would do a mixture of like how they like wet the tortilla with the birria juice, like the juice
Hmm.
of the birria.
Yeah.
The
Put it
consomme.
on the grill. Yeah, you put it on the grill so you get it nice and hot and all that stuff. You get it toasted, and then you put the cheese down and you put the guisao. So I would put the guisao on top of the cheese. Put the thing, get the both breads toasted up and like kind of flatten it up, kind of like a Cuban sandwich and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I might even give you the arroz and habichuelas on the side just because we want a little bit extra. But that sounds good to me.
So by definition, you would cook it then. Okay then.
No, vegan, yes.
No, it's a
For this
cook, but
conversation,
Wait,
I'm
but
gonna
it's a
vegan?
try the
Yes,
cook.
but
vegan
meat.
one. But no, I would only cook vegan. I only cook vegan now. I don't care how much I love you. I'm not gonna cook an animal just because you want to eat a murdered animal. I'm
I
straight.
I,
Wait. So
I respect your veganism.
Thank you, thank you.
so but earlier you said it depends on like on like our palates, right? So if
Well,
our
no, I
palate,
said that the explanation of the sandwich is for y'all's palate.
the,
Basically, you guys eat the meat and stuff, but I'm not cooking it. You got me messed up.
Basically,
what?
she's gonna make us feel guilty for eating dead carcass.
Yes, I mean I could make it sound really good and all that stuff because I used to cook. Before I went vegan, I still cooked back then, but now I just don't cook that stuff. I make the vegan version of it, so it's straight. But
So I guess we're leaving it to like vegan fried chicken then, huh?
no, why you went from guisao to vegan
I,
fried chicken?
because you mentioned vegan, so that's the first thing that's coming to my mind. Because I was gonna say like like certain palates, right? But now you mentioned vegan, so I was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know what else you could turn
Why
like.
you just went like super hyper and happy into like vegan?
I mean, because we gotta cook our own meats. So this was the expectation versus the reality that you gave us, right? The expectation was like, all right, I'm thinking that okay, you're gonna make like the nice like meats because like you mentioned like all kinds of like food because you said
Got
you
the
could
meat
cook.
spread out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
but
giving you the example so you could visualize it in your head for y'all's taste palette.
but it's not the same. If we had to cook our own meat, I mean, what if like you had like your own specialized seasoning, but because you don't like to like kill, well, you don't like to cook the animals that's already dead. Like
Yeah,
it's already a dead animal, so I'm just saying, like,
But
but
vegan
it's
fried
not.
chicken, that would be. Oh, go ahead, lady. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, vegan fried chicken. That would be more of a take on soul food. So that'll be
Yes,
different
that would be
than
different.
her
Okay, but
cooking from
I
that.
could make you some bomb
I've never
ass
tried that.
mushrooms that you would be like, this tastes better than chicken. Mushrooms.
And she's like silent.
okay,
It's because you think about it as in the meat is giving you the flavor. It's not. It's all the vegetables and fruit that's giving the meat the flavor. I cook with all the flavor. You bring something else to intake the flavor. You get it? Like my food brings the flavor to your food.
okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you, right? In our whole entire conversation, right? I was with you as far as the artwork, being connected, pointing out this and pointing out that. But the moment you start talking about like this and that with food and no,
You
I'm
want me to break down the food? This will probably change your perspective of it, right? Because look, one of the things that helped me like in my transition with veganism is that I really went back to realize what we were fed or what we ate. Our peoples are like kings and queens and everyone back in the day before the colonization started. We used to eat everything that we grew from the earth. The time when we started to eat the animals and when we started to eat all the intestines and everything else that came with the animal was when we were held. of any kind of way when we were being, brought down or whatnot,
Yeah.
because we only had those things. We were given the scraps, we were given the things, we lived out on the fields with the animals, and
Hmm.
those are the things that we had. So when they died, like you said, it's already dead. It died, and that was the only thing we had to nutrition our body with, because we weren't giving anything else. We were actually, it was taken away from us. So when we had to make do with what we had, of course we're gonna succeed. We're freaking amazing. Of course we're gonna know what to do with the spices and the seasonings and all those
Like the
other things.
chitlins and all that. Yeah.
Yes, we knew how to make chitlins and menudo and stuff because we're just amazing. We know how to make it work. We're artistic like that. But if we would have never have had that, we would have still been eating all the fruits and vegetables and everything that came from the world, from the earth, because those were the expensive things. Those
And it
were
wouldn't be
the,
cooked too.
and it would not be cooked, because that's like we would be eating it at its truest form, at its maximum nutrition capacity or whatnot. But like us eating
Hmm.
pernil and turkey and all these other things, that's America. That's colonizer things. That's not, that it really isn't
Said
us. Like
America.
if you, it is America. If you go back and look and like really study your own culture, you will see that everybody that was in the godly version of us was not eating no menudo, chitlins. Do you think some godly king and queens would have been eating chitlins?
Yeah, they wouldn't be. I mean, 'cause in
Yeah.
traditional, you know, because
Yeah,
all culture that we all our culture is traditional African culture, right? You know what I mean? Whether you're talking about, Latin America, Central America, wherever, it's all traditional African culture. It's all derived from that. So, and if you look at all of our foods, it's literally all the same. You know what I'm saying?
it really is.
And
It's just
you
like
know,
different spices from
yeah,
that.
yeah. And also it's the combination of how we use the spices, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
each combination is different, right? Like I was talking about the jollof rice. You know what I mean? The jollof rice is different than any other type of rice. It brings a different texture, a different flavor, right?
Hmm.
It's so flavorful and so good. You can just eat the rice by itself.
Itself,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? You don't
Kind
even
of
need
like,
anything else with
yeah,
it.
it's kind of like arroz con pollo. Dominican,
Yeah.
Mm.
Cubans and
Yeah.
stuff, and Puerto Ricans cook that too. Like Caribbean people
Yeah.
cook that too, but it's just a
Hmm.
different version. I just feel like like if you guys actually study the food that you eat, and not only, if you like go even deeper into it, like if you guys go and look at the food, the same food, right? Go to Walmart and look at the ingredients for that stuff, and then go to
Oh,
Whole Foods and look at the same ingredients, and it's less stuff on the Whole Foods,
my
because
wife
Hmm.
would tell me that too. Yeah. I'm sorry.
the more expensive it is, it's like you're getting the better things. So like if you really go to the fruit and vegetables and all that stuff, you heal your body. You're like removing all those chemicals and all those preservatives that we all of a sudden need, but like other countries don't need it. We America just needs it because for some reason we need it, right? But really it's for us to get sick and for them to be able to bill us, and
Take us to the
doctors to,
hospital.
yeah,
Yeah.
and doctors to give us more prescriptions on things that they need to heal, and you have this wrong, and to heal that you also need these other pills to kill the side effects or whatever. But if you actually just ate vegetables and didn't eat that pig that was like captured, abused, raped, impregnated, stolen their babies, and like held captive to do other
Hmm.
things, to bring other foods that are dead already, to the people, and you just buy it because it's in the store or whatever. Like if we didn't do that anymore, they wouldn't have the need to do that. Like the milk industry has went down so much since veganism has gone up, because we're really not paying attention to that anymore. We don't care that dentists or doctors used to say about the bone marrow and all that stuff. That was a lie to get us to drink milk. That's why so many people got cancer. That's why so many people have all these
Hmm.
other things, and diabetes and high blood pressure and all that stuff, because they're abusing those animals, and then they're wanting us to consume their nutrition.
Oh man, I
Like,
gotta go deep with this. Yeah.
yeah, like a baby needs milk. Like if you guys were not, if we didn't have no more food, right? People would be eating the milk from a woman. Like we would automatically, even if we weren't pregnant or anything like that, our bodies will evolve with the world and naturally just start lactating and producing milk because you guys need to be have nutrition. So then we would become the things that are giving you nutrition because we are the mothers. We're the ones that give you that nutrition. Once you stop taking my nutrition from my body, you don't need that type of nutrition anymore. Now you need it from the food that's coming from the earth, which is going to give you, which is Mother Earth. Mother Earth is still giving you the nutrition that
Mm-hmm.
you need, not a pig, not a farmer that's going to kill the cow or whatever. Like, that's not
Mm-hmm.
giving you the nutrition. That's giving you the nutrition that
Oh
that
man.
animal ate from the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I
Let me
don't
let
even eat pork or drink milk at all. I drink like almond milk. I don't eat pork. Now,
you.
I still do eat chicken. I eat beef. I do eat things of that nature. I have thought about possibly maybe not even eating those things as well. It has crossed my mind, but you're definitely right. Like all the things, all the foods that we have adopted that we put into our system. You know what I'm saying? It's been, especially with the milk. Milk is one of the worst things you can ever put in your body.
Ooh. It's just
Completely,
basically
it's terrible.
phlegm and what's the other?
Inflammatory.
Yeah, it's basically phlegm, pus and blood. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
from milk.
Yeah,
Because like the thing is that like here's the thing when cows, right, they give birth to to their little ones,
the
and
counts.
they rely on that milk. Once they grow up, they don't go to that same milk. They don't go to their mothers and drink their own like cow's milk. They start eating grass.
Yes.
Now, if they're fed by anything other than what was nutritionally ingrained into the ground, then of course the cows they'll get sick. That's why, like you have like what's it called, mad cow disease and all that
Yeah.
other stuff because farmers will start giving them corn, things that they not really was meant to really eat to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the same thing like with us, okay, like I've been stopped drinking regular milk. However, if I eat ice cream, that's still regular milk, so I can't really say. But as far as like eating milk with cereal or just drinking it down, like okay, I'm getting my nutritional value for milk. You're really getting growth hormones
Yeah.
from that milk product. Now here's the thing. Now people have graduated as far as the taste buds into almond milk or coconut milk, but you still have to be careful of what you
Yeah.
get that store bought because here's the thing. Um, the majority of almond milk that you probably see on the stores, if you go to places like let's just say a grocery outlet, and you see like a lot of almond milks, and it's super cheap. Now you're buying the almond milk, but you're not really reading the ingredients to it.
Hmm.
And the ingredients behind it is that half of it, you have a little bit of almond milk, but half of it is added by certain oils like sunflower oil and other type of oils,
Yeah.
which if any
Soybean oil.
Hmm.
soybean oil as well too, but then that would be like soy milk a little bit, right? But let's just say you add those oils to it. Well, if you're adding oils into so-called almond milk, then you're not really drinking almond milk. So now
Yeah.
I have to go to places like Sprouts or Whole Foods, mostly like probably
Hmm.
Whole Foods, because they have the original, the real pure almond milk, where it's made just with almonds, what's it called? Himalayan salt and something else, but none of the added preservatives
Yeah.
that's included to it. So if it's $10, I rather spend $10 for maybe uh, a quarter or something like that of a jug of almond milk versus buying something that's from the stores that's cheaper, but it's not really the pure organic kind. And
Yeah.
when you mentioned about Walmart versus other stores, let's say if you get like a loaf of bread, like from Walmart, and then versus the loaf of bread like in Sprouts or whatever. Yes, it's important to look at the ingredients because the thing is, the more added chemicals that you can't even pronounce yourself, the harmful it is for you, pretty
Hmm.
much.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, you want to get it as close as organic as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only shop at like a Sprouts or like a Whole Foods for
Me
my
too.
type of stuff. That's the only place that like I will literally go. You know what I mean? Also, we just you just have to you got to know your own body, and you got to know what you can handle, what you can't handle. And I
Hmm.
would say this: once I've stopped eating all the fast food. Once I stopped eating all the processed food, I stopped, drinking the sodas, eating the cereals, and all that. My energy is up. Me being able to work out is so much easier. You know what I mean? I no longer have headaches. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I can't tell you the last time I have had a headache. But when I was eating all that stuff and I was eating all the processed food and I was eating the hot pockets and all the stuff, then
Mhm.
man, I would have headaches. My body temperature would rise and fall, and it was just bad. And I'm thinking
Mhm.
like, man, why is my body feeling this way? Like I just ate two hot pockets. That should be good. But it's like no,
Mhm.
your body's not receiving any nutrition. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so that's why you feel the way. And the two biggest things well, the three biggest things that we always need to have in our body. Number one is water. You know what I mean? Water is so key because it flushes out your system. And I tell anybody before you eat anything, drink a glass of water before you eat any meal. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. I drink a glass of water before I eat any meal. Second one is veggies. You know what I mean? Veggies gives you so much energy. It flushes out the system as well. You know what I mean? I usually just eat spinach directly. I don't put no type of I don't do no salads, no salad dressing. I just buy the spinach, and I just eat the leafy greens from, its natural state. And then I also say
Raw.
fruit. Yeah, I eat it raw. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Yeah. 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 And it gives you all the nutrition, everything else. It gives you a boatload of energy, everything else. And the last thing is fruit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You want to make sure I try to eat at least, you know, about 20 pieces of
Yeah.
fruit a day. You know what I mean? So that way, I'm actually putting a lot in my body. So, as long as people are doing that with every meal, have your fruits, your veggies, and your water with every meal, you'll literally be able to just, your system be A1. So,
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people like they think I'm a lot younger than what I am because I've taken so good care of like my body and stuff and like just really focus on what I eat and stuff. I think the only time that I really kind of overindulge in junk food was when I was younger, like a lot younger. Even
hmm
in my teens, like I always like to be very active and stuff, but eating healthy, I could always just feel the difference on how bad you would feel after you eat something. And I know
hmm
sometimes, like, those home cooked meals of, like, those dishes that you grew up on or whatever, they make you
hmm
feel good because it reminds you of memories, not
hmm
because the food is actually making you feel good. Because
hmm
once you're done eating, you feel like, oh, so heavy and so like, I just want to take a nap now and like, just
hmm
chill,
The
whatever.
itis.
You get the
Yeah.
itis. You don't ever want to
Mhm.
get up and go and do something and whatever. Food
hmm
that you're actually giving your body nutrition, like we shouldn't call it like eating. That shouldn't be the thing. It should be giving
A
our body,
lifestyle.
yeah, yeah, which it is a lifestyle, but like you should call it nutrition in your body
hmm
because you're not people made it change the reason why we need to eat into a pleasure, into a guilt thing, like we love to do this because we just love it, it's so good. But in reality, you should look at it like, I'm only going to put the things in my body that are going to give me the things that I need, like strength and energy, and make sure my levels on my everything is correct, and that I'm getting this. If I'm losing it here, if I'm working out and I need more electrolytes, I'm gonna get it from the food that came from the earth, not from the store or some other third party or whatever
Or
that is.
Gatorade. Yeah.
Yeah, like Gatorade is so bad, but
hmm
it's so many things like that you could actually use that are natural that would nutrition your body, instead of like thinking that is at it as I'm gonna eat because it's so good and because I love it and because like ooh, food porn and foodie and all this other stuff. Like that to me is like it's like a sin. It's like you're doing it in vain. You're not doing it in the actual need that your body is requiring, like sleep. You don't sleep for fun. You're supposed to sleep to rest your body and then get up and keep on going. When you overindulge on it, it's laziness now, and
hmm
you're not doing anything. You're hurting yourself instead of making yourself better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's the biggest thing. Like it's like you said, it's actually putting, you know, those things in your body so they can be they can be positive to your body and they can
Yeah.
add to who you are, not take away. And that's what
Yeah.
food's supposed to do. Food is supposed to help you, like in your body, and it's supposed to actually bring strength and it's supposed to bring energy to your body. You know what I'm saying? Another big thing too, I always tell people is also, I do a lot of well, I do this daily as well. I take a lot of like immune system gummies, and I also do probiotics or prebiotics. You know what I mean, so that my immune system is up to date. You know what I mean. So and then those like it has things like elderberry, which is
I
great
love
for your
it.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
have these elderberry gummies that I take, and they're phenomenal. So yeah.
Yeah, see, like doing her comment is very, it's, I love it. When you actually start to eat better and focus and like learn about the food, I find it really interesting that people like really become fans of people like other people, right? Like artists and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
but like to the point that they know what they ate, right? They know what they did, where they were, the things that every little detail about them, but they won't take that step to learn about their food like that. That's weird.
Mm.
Which is like, how could you want somebody else to be brought to light so much, but you don't want to bring to light your needs of your own body? That's like, how could you not want to read the ingredients in your food? Like now, when I first became a vegan, I would take forever at the grocery store. I hated going because I had to shop for everything and I had to look and I had to like really look at everything and look up the words, like Google the words if I didn't know what the words meant and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And when I now I could spot milk being written on a label like this, like from far away, nope, that has milk. Like I could tell where everything that has it because I've just been doing it for so long already, for years now. And it's a difference, but to me still it's just like it's so many things. Like I don't understand why sometimes almonds, like those little containers of almonds and stuff,
Mhm.
right, they have milk. Why? Why does it have
Mm.
milk, America?
Mm.
Why do you want me to have milk in everything that I eat? Like it's so bad
Mm.
and it's so
And
it's
corn
yeah.
too.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
supposed to eat corn. We're not. That's not
Mhm.
that's a man-made thing. We're not supposed to eat even though I love it. I love pineapple, but we're not supposed to eat pineapple. Did you guys know that pineapple is the only fruit that eats you back?
Oh
Because of
wow.
the acid? Is it because of the acid?
Yes. It starts to, like, have you guys ate it so much that it cuts your tongue? It makes your tongue run raw? Have you ever
Mhm.
got to that point?
Yeah.
I'm
Kind
Yeah,
from
of
I've
like
had
a
that
black,
Miami,
happen
so I've
before.
definitely
right?
got
Like,
to that point.
yeah,
But
Mhm.
like kind of like prickly, right?
yes, it that's what it does in your stomach. Like it basically it's a toxic, it's a really bad acid that it starts to eat you up. So that you shouldn't eat it, that you shouldn't really eat it at all, but you shouldn't eat it much if you are eating it because it's a toxic thing. Bananas are not original. They're not the ones that we were eating before. The seedless anything, junk, that's crap.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
should be eating like watermelon. You're on mute, M3. The watermelon, like
Mm-hmm.
the nutrition comes from the seed, and the seed, like even in drawings, like more modern things, they don't even make the seed black anymore in the drawings because they don't want us to have that image in our minds anymore. They want us
Mhm.
to only be with
Mm.
the things that they're creating for us, the things that they're like making, being man-made, for us to consume.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a big
I,
thing. Like they want to consume these man-made things, these man-made products, and another thing that people don't do as well, which is a big thing. I'll make it brief. Is people don't look at the calorie intake or the
Mm.
grams of sugar, on a product. They just think that okay, I'm gonna get
Oh,
lemonade, right? You go
yeah.
to the store, I'm gonna buy lemonade. So
Oh,
you
that's my
go,
favorite.
yeah, you go, you go and buy lemonade, right? But you didn't look on the back of that label and see that little bottle of lemonade that you're drinking is 400 calories.
Yeah.
You never even looked at that. You're just
Yeah.
thinking, oh, it's lemonade. It can't be bad.
Yeah.
No, it's a good thing. It's from lemons and it's good. But you're
Yeah.
not reading the calorie intake. So when you don't read that calorie intake, you're not seeing that this lemonade here is like you drinking 5 bottles of that in one bottle of natural lemonade. Actually, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It'll be 5 bottles just with that one bottle. But if you drink organic lemonade, you know what I mean, or I have we have
Or
this
make it. Yeah, just cut it up,
yeah,
just squeeze
yeah.
it. Like it's so beneficial for us to do everything that we need to do.
Or there's also like
Mhm.
nutritional they have like nutritional kind of websites you can go on and just order nutritional things, and like you can like have a subscription,
Yeah, like a
and
bomb.
yeah, and you get like boxes of like nutritional items, and you can actually, so we have like this in my home we have this organic lemonade mix, right? And there's no sugar, no preservatives, none of that. And it doesn't taste like that, that lemonade that I get from the store that everybody like. You know what I mean? The
Mm-hmm.
Tropicana lemonade, it don't taste like that.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. So your palate has to get
Mhm.
used to it. And when I first drunk it, I was like, "Oh, this is." I'm like, where the taste at? You know what I mean? Because I'm so used to drinking all of the sugar, right? And all
Mhm.
the things that are bad for for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But once I switched my palate up and I started drinking this, I mean, it took me some time, but then I was like, wow, this is a lot more better, and my energy was better, and everything else was better as well, and I developed to love it. Now I drink it all the time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and your taste buds adjust, and then
Hmm.
also like if you were to go back and taste that other thing that you didn't like, it's gonna taste nasty to you. It's gonna be
Yep.
too much. It's just
Hmm.
like a lot of that one thing. Now, since I went vegan, like I mean, I already didn't like a lot of sweet stuff or whatnot, but since I went vegan, it's like it enhanced the taste buds. Like no, it's too much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
I also want to add too that broccoli and cauliflowers
Broccoli.
are also like generic too. It's
Mm-hmm.
also a man-made plant that
Mm-hmm.
they took from, I think, the seed from one plant and then they form it into their own. I forgot.
Yeah, the asparagus and something else for
Yeah,
broccoli.
something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I love broccoli too. It sucks because I like those things, but I'm like,
but I
I
always felt
know
weird
that
when I tried it.
yeah, if
Yeah.
and it doesn't really agree with a lot of people, to be honest,
Hmm.
because it really doesn't. Like if we really analyze and really think about it, those things, like we are allergic to food when it makes us act a certain way. Like if you don't drink milk, right, and then you go and eat an ice cream because you don't drink whole milk, I mean you don't drink cow milk anymore, and you eat it, it's
Hmm.
gonna affect your body in a certain way. It's gonna make you feel something. That's allergies. Like the same way, like if I were to eat and kiwi isn't real either. Kiwi is a man-made thing. Like I'm allergic to
Mm.
kiwi. So when I eat kiwi, my lips get swollen and my breathing slows down a little bit. Like it's giving me allergies, right? But like if it were to only give me a stomach ache, that's an allergy because my body doesn't agree to it. It's not working for it. It's my body's like rejecting it. Like what did you put in me? What did you give me? Take it out right now, kind of thing. So like when we need to kind of analyze everything that we put in our body, so if we kind of look at it like that, like is it working properly? Is it making me feel good? If it's not making you feel good at all, meaning that you're able to go out and be active and be alert and all that stuff, is if it's not doing that, it's not good for your body. You're not giving into that to it at the right time, or you just shouldn't be consuming that one thing. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I have a question. Is onions like natural or is it generic as well? Just want to
I
know.
don't. I think it's natural. I don't think so. But you know what I did learn through my vegan journey, everything darker, as you guys know, melanin is great. But every in fruit too, like everything darker is better for you. It has more nutrition. So like red apples are better than white apples. So you should. I'm sorry. Onions. Red onions are better than white onions. So you should try to cook those more, like the cabbage. If you're gonna eat cabbage, the red one is more nutrition than everything darker. All the greenery, everything that's like green is better for you than anything that's gonna be the lighter version of anything else.
Hmm. And then on a side note too, do not buy no Beyond the Meat burgers or meat or whatever, because even though that's supposed to be vegan or sorry, yeah, vegan or whatever, that's it's not helpful. If you read the
It's a
ingredients,
lot of preservatives.
hmm and Bill Gates owns it too, though. So don't
Yeah, I
count
saw
that,
that.
bro.
Yeah.
Can you bring that comment back up? I kind of like read it and then I couldn't read the end, but I yeah. I think that's why Bill Gates is pushing people to eat more of the plant based meat and she only possible meat. Yes, but
Mhm.
and you know why they're doing that? Because they don't want us to like go towards the natural things like the mushrooms. Like for
Mhm.
real, y'all, there's
Exactly.
so many mushrooms that y'all could cook that to you it would it probably wouldn't to your mind because I'm pretty sure you guys all eat steak and you probably like it and stuff like that, right? But it makes you feel
Mhm.
crappy afterwards. You feel really heavy. That steak is not leaving your body for a couple of days if you did not know. Like a few days, maybe even longer than a week, right? So you're carrying that heavy meat that was already went through trauma and all that stuff in your body. But if you guys were to like eat certain mushrooms, it will give you the same taste, same feel, and all that stuff. Not in the bad way, but like the way you're consuming the meal, you would get the same pleasure out of it, and it would be something that's healthy for your body. That is not actually meat. That is not actually steak
Mhm.
going into your body.
Mhm. Okay, okay, I got you. Man, man, I'm gonna. Dang, it sucks because I do love like pineapples and I actually have pineapple drinks and yeah, so it's gonna be a while for me to kind of
I know,
clean that
me
out.
too, though. I have a tattoo of a pineapple, you guys. I love it. I love it so much. Like, and then when I found that out, I was really sad. It was a really sad day for me. I was like, dang.
I think something that like really woke my eyes up too when I was younger was being lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
and then another thing too was I had like a reaction to certain fast food when I was little, and it ended up putting me in the hospital.
Ooh,
Oh.
And it was like all of a sudden because like we were like in the middle of a freeway. It was like I think getting past Bakersfield or something. This is back when we used to live in San Jose, and
Mhm.
we just stopped by like a Jack in the Box, and we hadn't anything in like hours. So we went there, and I ate something, and the next thing you know, I woke up in the hospital, and I was like nose tube stuff like that. It ended up saying that I got food poisoning, and
damn.
like, ever since then, I try to stay away from like mostly like all fast food. Um, from time to time, do I get like a sushi or something? Maybe like a teriyaki. I mean, I don't know. I just
Mhm.
don't go for a lot of that stuff as much as I used to, but uh,
Yeah.
stuff like
And at
that
the
kind of
same time,
wakes you up.
so it
You know.
feels weird, right? You still feel like not always 100% when you eat it, right? Like,
No, it don't taste the same.
yeah.
Mhm.
It gives it like a weird vibe because like your taste buds just change, especially when you start eating healthy. Because I'm like Mr. Best. Like I try to stick mainly to like the chicken and fish, especially like the lighter meats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes red meat too. I don't really eat pork at all,
Yeah,
but
pork is the worst. The
yeah,
worst of everything.
especially like when you watch that documentary Food Inc. It
Mm,
changed my mind when I was like young, when I was like teenager,
yeah.
and it just made me look at manufacturing, how they look at the chickens and like the cows and stuff too. Because my uncle was a farmer in Hemet, so I would see some of the stuff they would like theirs was like a regular standard farm. It wasn't like a mass production farming like the other corporations have. His
Yeah.
is more of like a general private owned farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would grow
Mhm.
vegetables, goats, cows, cattle, and chickens, poultry.
Mm-hmm.
But he would do organic, like cage-free eggs,
Yeah.
So, so those are the kind of eggs that he would eat.
Yeah, which those are still. I mean, all that is a lot better than the massive produce. Like it really is. So if people tell me that stuff, it is better because you're not getting all this other stuff that comes with mass produce of any kind of poultry because there's so much infection that is carried by them because they don't keep things clean. It's really really big. I mean, if a small fast food place can't keep it clean enough by the volume of people that they're getting in a day, and we are able to get sick from that, we see how they are. We all know they're dirty as hell. We just eat it because we like it because we grew up on it, right? And we're not getting like extremely sick like you did, right? But if we were to really analyze how dirty they are, how they work, how they like turn around the you know get the food out that they're getting out, or the service that they're giving or whatever. It's disgusting. Like it really, really is disgusting. You wouldn't want to eat the type of food that they have at your home. So at home you would look at that like with disgust. But since you're going out somewhere, you're in a rush and you're like, you need to eat right now. You're like, forget it, I'll just eat it. It's just, one time or whatever. But that one time could land you in the hospital, could kill you, could be the thing that it just like pushes you over on your health level of, your life and stuff, and then just might tip you over to to the your deathbed and stuff, or just overall just get you to a point where you're not healthy.
Yeah. And then another thing too that I was taught when I was like in high school was the greener the vegetable, the better it is for you.
Mm.
That's
Oh,
one thing that like something stuck when I was like doing weight training and personal fitness in high school. I was just like, so I just started implementing even more green vegetables than what I used to.
yeah.
So that helped me out a lot more. Antioxidants, nutrients, the system, it just keeps going through. So, it benefits you. So, I wish people could like take the time if you want, just look at certain documentaries and
Yeah.
just, like the food pyramid, certain things with the food pyramid, you don't really have to eat everything in there, but uh, mainly the vegetables. And if you really do want to have like the meats, like the lighter meats are always the best healthy. Um, and, just obviously portion control,
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
It
portion
is
control.
true. Actually, I think one of the healthiest things is turkey. But just to give you guys a little knowledge or whatever information,
Yeah.
turkey is one of the highest insured. Like they're not insurable because they die so quick. They get sick from anything and they
Oh
die. So
wow.
like their immune system is really, really low. So if you're looking for like to boost your immune system with turkey, and that's like the healthiest white meat, right? The whiter the meat, the
Hmm.
better, right? But that's the healthiest white meat, and their immune system is the weakest out of any kind of other animal. So like if somebody were to own a farm, like your uncle, whatever, that he owned a farm, he probably didn't have turkeys on there because he knew what a loss that would be to his business,
Yeah.
because it's really, really bad. I was actually gonna bring this up that you pulled up, M3. Like, pork is the worst thing that you could eat because they feed them absolutely anything. They feed them trash that
Hmm.
is just like
Disgusting.
pulverized or whatever. They make it into like a little like a how you say masa? Like Dean, how you say masa? How you say masa?
Flour,
um,
like flour or dough.
like
Oh,
dough, dough.
no, the
Yes.
dough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dough.
Okay.
So they make it into a dough so they could kind of like it could fill their stomach up, but that's nasty.
Hmm.
Are you gonna play that?
Yeah, I was gonna show you this is what Marcus really ate, and that's what how he got food poisoning. You know.
Thanks,
But yeah,
man. It makes me feel a whole lot better.
I got you. All right, so I won't play like the music, but yeah.
Fair
So,
use.
oh yeah, fair use, fair use, fair use, everyone. So man gets fired for exposing what pigs eat. Of course, I gotta pause because I always gotta say fair use. Black vegan tube. Okay.
Yep.
So if you guys could look closely, I mean, I did stretch it out as much as I could. All this is trash, but however, right? This is like from other food
Food.
waste.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you may see like desserts, you may see like little Debbie's or whatever that hasn't even
Yeah.
been opened, but they're all like usually pretty much
All
expired.
expired,
Hmm.
everything that they're throwing out, that's basically what they give them. You know
Hmm.
what I was gonna tell you, Mr. Sexual, that this is also where like kind of like this is where how they built gelatin. So any kind of gummies that y'all eat and stuff, it has pork in it. It has beef,
Yeah.
it has collagen, and it has like all these other things. So if you're eating any kind of jello, anything that has gelatin in it, it's basically pork and
Yeah.
beef and all the scraps of the factories that they.
Also, a lot of soy stuff carries a lot of estrogen too.
Yes, it will.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
especially for men, when you're working out and stuff and you're eating that stuff, careful because your estrogen levels can raise roof and your testosterone can take a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like in your man boobs, man.
That
You're so
shit's
stupid.
crazy.
I still need to get all
Yeah.
the soy out of me.
It's it's hard out here. Like honestly, they really want us to be sick. And
Mm-hmm.
for us to be better and be to the whole, to the maximum level of our abilities and our cultures, we really have to stop eating like this. Because, I mean, even I, like, I know, like, currently right now, I'm a little bit heavier than I normally am, right? Because I've just been eating bad from, even in my veganism. I'm still eating vegan. I'm still eating, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
eating animals and stuff. But even in mine, I'm not in the fullest capacity that I could be. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm doing better than that right now, I'm so happy because I'm still like healthier than that. I'm still gonna live a lot longer. I'm not gonna be going through the same illnesses that everybody else that's eating pork and beef and chicken and drinking milk and all that stuff. I'm not gonna go through those things because that's just not
Mm-hmm.
part in my body. It's not something that I allowed to be in my body. But even still, like, I still have to learn to better myself from where I am right now because I know that I could get better. I know that I've been better places. So overall, I just feel like as a whole, our cultures need to do better. And just like, I know that we love that home cooked meal and that home cooked dish and that thing that we grew up on, but we could definitely make those to be in healthy direction instead of making it be like, the disease infested thing that we loved so much growing up.
Absolutely. I mean, we all gotta do better. I know we're used to like certain foods that, and like I said, I can't really talk too much because I got like at least like a couple of like cinnamon rolls, honey buns, whatever you call it, right? I mean, don't worry, I won't get rid of those soon. But the point is, right? Um, Moderation at a time to the point where it's like you could wean yourself out of all the bad junk. Now, even when I was doing keto for a little while, but eating like kind of clean, where it's like I'm not eating like a lot of red meats, like no pork or whatever, because people could get things mixed up. Like you got to add all this big tubs of butter and lard. Like no, like you could have MCC like coconut oil. You could get the whitest like chicken or chicken breast or whatever. Although preferably like for people who are vegan, like don't eat no meat. But for people who do eat meat, cook at your own home so you know what you put into your own
Yeah.
body. And it made a whole lot of difference before I started going back, eating food like outside the home and you get stressed out from work, like that stuff like really does something to your body. But when you start to have the time on yourself and start cooking your own meals, it really makes a lot of difference. So um yeah, Coke Zero has the times of the amount of caffeine in it plus artificial sweeteners. So yeah, like anything that's artificial, basically, it's just officially sugar. All right, put it like that. Now, if you look at this video right here, where the guy's holding like, look like he's holding sand, a lot of greens, right? But that's from everything being like roasted up to a point where it's like damn near disintegrated into
Yeah.
dust.
Yeah.
And so what they do, they take that and they feed it to the pigs, and then when we eat the pigs, we're feeding that all that stuff to our own selves.
Mm-hmm.
So, the guy's pretty much exposing this is what companies do. Now, of course, he got fired for showing that, but it was worth him getting fired as long as he got that on footage.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
all that stuff, like, why are they trying to hide it? Why do they not want us to know? I mean, if people knew this and they decided to eat this, and that's them. They want to be done like this, right? They want to
Mm-hmm.
kill themselves like this. But
Mm-hmm.
why would you even? Why would this be something that's like okay with the PD? I mean, with the what is the place that approves everything? FD.
FDA.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
FDA.
Like, why are they okay with this? Why is this allowed? Right? Why? And why would they not want us to see this if this is something that they're supposed to be on our side protecting the, like, the civilians or the people out here? Like, why are they not protecting us from this? Why is that something that's allowed for the animal to eat that then is there turned around to be a fed to us?
Mm-hmm. So look at that. And
Still have
here's
it
the
in
thing.
boxes.
They have it in boxes, which that means they also have it in plastic too, because
Yeah,
you're burning everything.
yeah.
And plastic, it does cause like cancer over time when it's consumed. How it turns to the feed. There you go. You feed into the poor pigs. What is that? That looks like an old pumpkin. What else is showing? Yeah, it just looks. It looks disgusting, but better on a pizza, right?
Right. They don't. People don't see what's happening to that stuff. And I don't know. I lose a lot of respect for people to be like, whatever. I'm gonna die anyway. It's like, well, damn, you are, and a miserable death you're gonna go through as well. Like it's crazy. Those are the kind of people I can't associate myself with because I cannot be part of that. I can't be part of someone that doesn't care about themselves like that. Like I said, if they don't care about themselves, they're definitely not gonna care about me.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Asu, what's your favorite go-to vegan sandwich to make or cook?
So funny. It, um, a regular. I mean, for me to make, I would say I love tortas. I grew up on tortas, so I want a torta. And like the old school ones, like that we have deli meat too, but it's not that great either. I would probably cook cook a mushroom really good and like season it up and make it all delicious and everything. So like the mayonnaise, the meat substitute, lettuce, tomato, onions, pickle on the side, all of it. Yeah, just like
Hmm.
suited up really nice and stuff.
Yeah. Real quickly, we will be closing like in 3 more minutes, only because like we're getting close like to latest night live stream. And Azul, like I told you private, I was like, hey, look, I know that usually we try to respect the people's times, but when we get into these conversations and once we're in the flow of things, we may be talking like almost like for like 8 hours or so. I mean, that's how we get down. One time we had these live streams where it ran through like I think 11 or 12 hours, I believe.
Wow, hell no. I mean,
So
give
people
y'all
could talk.
time. I could give you some time, but I don't know if I could be sitting down for this long. My booty hurting already.
No, you wasn't thinking about that so I brought up, but I'm just saying, on the record. But yeah, yeah, this was some definitely good conversations, and it's good to kind of know about these things as a person who is into the veganism type of lifestyle. So I mean, thank you for sharing that to us and ruining pineapples for me.
Oh, you're
But
welcome. And
For real,
myself.
that was
I'm
my
sad
go-to
with
thing
you
to eat
guys.
before
I couldn't suffer by myself. I had to share it.
look, man, one person already ruined broccoli for me. But pineapple's like, God dang, man, it's okay.
to be honest, you're better off eating cabbage before broccoli.
Well, you know what? True. You
Yeah,
said no.
Yes, but I can't eat cabbage. It doesn't work with my body right. But I
Oh,
love cabbage before. Yeah.
okay,
because
okay. I thought you was
because
gonna hit us with you can't eat cabbage no more. I was like, oh
nah.
goddamn.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, but nice
Um.
to meet you. Nice to meet you, though. Also,
It was too.
shout out to you,
Thank you.
um, and also M3 and Mr. Best. Thank you for letting me up on the panel. I know y'all got things to do. I got some things to take care of too, but I just appreciate the time y'all let me up here to talk and welcome, and mucho gusto, and hopefully we get to talk to besides cooking sandwiches, we get to talk about other conversations. You know,
Yes, yes. Thank you.
you mind me asking, are you Dominican, Mexicana, or Cuban?
I'm Mexican Honduran.
Okay. Well, I'm Mexican as well, Native American, and my mom's from
Awesome.
Mexicali, and mi papá es de Michoacán.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So, con todo bien, con todo espíritu, y que Dios les bendiga. Shout out
Yes.
to y'all. God bless. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, sophomore man. Thank you for joining the panel.
All right, I got you.
All right, you sandwich cooker. But yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you, Azul, like for giving us like your time, man. This was like I said, this was definitely wonderful, and the whole goal is to pretty much like to make it fun.
Thank
I
you.
think the people in the chat, they're already emotionally traumatized, and they're
I
probably
know.
throwing out all
Sorry.
their sodas and juices, but that's okay,
I
you
sent that
know.
with love, though. I sent it with love.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about in knowledge and relationships. So, we hope, hopefully, like, whenever you have, some free time in the future, feel free to like, like join us like in our regular panels.
I'd
I
love
mean, we
to.
stream Monday and Monday and Thursday nights, but usually it's on the evening time. So our time is 7:30. Your time is going to be like 9:30 if you ever want to join.
Yeah.
And tonight we have our ladies' night. That's going to happen within an hour. So that's 5:30 Pacific time, and that will be 7:30 your time.
Yes, yes, yes. Well,
Yeah.
awesome. Hopefully I could join that. I'm gonna try. I told you, I would definitely try on that, but I'll let you know on that one. I
Mhm.
I really appreciate you guys having me on. I enjoyed this conversation. I did not feel like we were on here that this long, but I really enjoyed it from everyone's part and everything that we went over. So I really appreciate you guys, and I would love to come back at some point, and hopefully you guys we could work together. You guys would probably be on my show in some kind of way. So
Mhm.
hopefully we can get that going in the future. But I appreciate your time on here.
No, we like I said, we appreciate yours as well too. If you don't mind, if you stick around in the backstage, like as
Yeah.
we close out, like I don't think it's gonna be for too long. Mr. Intellectual Soulbox, are you still here? Let me see. I think he stepped out for like a little bit, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, so thank you everybody for tuning in. Everybody, please get the likes up and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, too, I think we are two more subscribers away from getting 900. So we'll just say 200, two plus. So that gives us a little bit more closer to our goal to getting 1,000 subscribers. Hmm?
So sorry, that
Oh,
was
you
me
get
opening our show by accident.
you're good. Yeah. Oh, are you one of those people that forgot to hit the subscribe button? You're like, hold on, let me go ahead and
Yeah, I was
subscribe.
going back there to check. Like, am I one? My
Busted. All right.
bad. I will. I promise. I think I need to get on my other phone.
No, yeah, you good. Okay. So let's see. Just expresses have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Knowledge
Thank
relationships, the
you.
intellectual soapbox, Sue Baya, and then Mr. Hisa says great convo. Thank you, sir. Thank you, and your wife for tuning in into like our channel as well and giving us some good support. Make sure you follow Azul Baya like on her IG. I will update it and I will add that on the description, but it is Baya, which is Bella underscore Azul. So
Thank you for
uh,
saying that. I hate saying it.
yeah, I gotta make sure because people might put two underscores or one underscore.
Yeah.
So
You'll see
yeah,
me. I'm in the cover. Like, I'm in my thing. It's me. You'll see me right away.
right. And then also too, check out her website, azulbaya.com. So if you check out her website, you'll see like a lot of her art. Like there's a lot of designs that is could be like on t-shirts and other accessories. So please definitely like type that in, check her out as well too. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just give her some support, and share the videos to your friends and family. So
Yeah.
with that being said, well, before we close out, Azul, you have any final words that you would like to say before we close out?
Well, again, thank you to you guys for
Mhm.
letting me be on your platform. I really appreciate it. You guys, if you want to talk to me, DM me on Instagram, send me an email. My emails are all over the place, so you can find me. They're all over the website as well. So if you guys do want to talk to me, you could do that. But make sure you stay in contact with me. I definitely like to talk to people that are out here being supportive of my artistry. And if you have any questions on any of the art or anything that I'm not showing, maybe you want to know a little bit more, you could feel free to ask me, and I might be able to give you some passwords that are on the website that are needed. So thank you.
All right. And then here you go, everybody. So remember, Bella underscore Azul, three underscores, so nobody gets confused. And check out her website as well too, azulbaya.com. And with that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in to Knowledge and Relations on YouTube. And we are out. Azul Baya, stick around, please. And peace out, everybody.
Knowledge and relationships.